He- Hello everyone. Hello everyone, and today we'll be looking at my entire Steam library. Front to back, 1,000 plus games, yes. And you can probably see down there, I have GOG open as well, so have a look at that. But I tried to record this a couple of days ago, and the issue was that, well, about 30 minutes in, the fire alarm went off, so I had to stop recording, and everyone had to evacuate the building, sadly. But everything was fine. It just meant I couldn't continue the rest because I realized that this was going to take a little while, since well, I was half an hour in, and I was only at the letter B. So yeah, a bit too chatty, I suppose. But we'll try. I'll try to keep it a little bit more concise, a little bit shorter. It's still gonna be a couple hours long, so strap in. But we're gonna do this. And we're gonna do it right. I'm not gonna skip over anything. Some things I won't know anything about. You got to realize about. I've only finished, or God, not finished. I've only played about perhaps gosh, not a lot. Probably about well, 30 to 40% of games here I've played and sort of experienced. I just realized I should have probably put on some music. That's one of the things I forgot to do last time. Shall I do this entire thing without music? My God, I hope there's not going to be any noises from out there. But now I feel like I might have made the mistake of not playing music. But screw it. Screw it. Let's get it done. Let's do it. Sorry that there's no background music, but let's you can add your own, right? You can add your own. It's interactive. It's an interactive experience. I thought about doing this, in an ASMR style, soft spoken style perhaps, but I mean, doing this for a couple of hours, softly spoken like this, it's gonna be exhausting. I mean, I might do this one more time again, with it being soft spoken, but I don't know. I might. No, this is gonna be way too intense, way too intense to do that for the entire time. I'm sorry about the music though. I genuinely do feel bad, but I'm forgetful and I don't have a lot of time. I've been very busy recently, so I kind of want to just bring you this video because I have a lot to talk about. And it's a nice opportunity to just talk about the games, especially since the last video was about any and all the physical games I have, but that's all stuff I almost none of it I actually play because, well, I don't use consoles anymore except for watching movies or watching my wife play something. She bought yesterday, or not yesterday, a couple of days ago. She bought The Quarry on PS4, and it was like, I don't know, $10 new. And she wanted to play it and she wanted me to watch, so that's what we're gonna do tonight. But anyway, I'm opening a Red Bull in honor of the goat. Nah, Michael Schumacher is the goat, but Max is getting up there. He's doing well. Um, and yeah, let me. Probably I had a stopwatch ready. Look at this, completely not ready for anything. Disgraceful. I had a stopwatch, so I know if I'm talking too much about something, and we need to hurry it up. So let's get going. Let's get going. Okay, 007. So we have all of the 007 games. All of them. Not all of them, and by far not all of them. Agent Under Fire is not there. Tomorrow Never Dies, From Russia with Love. But these are the ones that I have a particular interest in. Bloodstone, here is quite good. Haven't played it. Of course, it was on Steam for about 3 months before they removed it, which is kind of sad since it's apparently not bad. It's pretty good. Everything or Nothing, I have heard a lot of good things about, but I haven't played. It's going to be interesting to play that. 007 Legends I hear is terrible, but it's practically just Call of Duty with the James Bond skin. But I am interested to play that. 007 Nightfire. one of my favorites when I was a kid. Played many, 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 many hours of the single player and the multiplayer with my friends on PS2. Great game, absolutely. One of the best Bond games, certainly. And then 007 Quantum of Solace, which is practically just Casino Royale. Very little of it is actually Quantum of Solace, but I think it's very, very good. The game is it's a bit underrated. Well, it's good for a Bond game, right? And it's certainly above the rest of the pack. Not above Nightfire or anything, but I think it's perhaps the best one with Daniel Craig in. I haven't played Bloodstone, so I can't really judge, and I need to play Quantum of Solace again. But I had that game on the Xbox 360, and I very much enjoyed it. I know the PS2 version is quite different, but anyway. The 007 game's always been some of my favorites. Quite fun, casual games to play. 100% Orange Juice, very fun sort of party game. I spent a lot of time playing that with my wife. She got it for me a couple of years ago, and we played this when we first moved into the apartment together. We played quite a few rounds of it. It's a very fun game. It's akin to not Mario Party, but it's a it's I think it's like, if I remember, I haven't played in quite a while, but it's like a card-based sort of board game. But it's fun. It's very fun. Good fun party game. 7 Days to Die is a bit disappointing, isn't it? It's been in alpha for the last 10 years. It's still in early access. I mean, you might as well just play a modded version of Minecraft. It's fine for what it is. It has its things. It has its moments, but it's fun. I played it with my wife as well, and it's good fun, but it's not particularly incredible compared to other games that have done it. Abzu is interesting. I tried it a couple of years ago when it still had Denuvo, and it was cooking my graphics card for some reason. And then they removed Denuvo recently, and I thought, oh, you know what? It was always my hidden games, but then I put it back, and I thought, you know what? Let's give it a go at some point. It's more of an experience than a game, but I hear that it's quite fun. So then we have it was quite beautiful, beautiful rather than fun. Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown. I hear a lot of good things about Ace Combat. I have a couple of friends who are really into that series, especially back on the PS2 games. And I've never played any of the Ace Combat games. I never was introduced to it as a child. I never played any of them, even though I had a PS2. Yeah, I got it a couple of months ago to check it out. I haven't gotten around to it, which we'll see is a very, very common thing with my games. But yeah, seems to be a fun game. Act of War, Direct Action, and Act of War High Treason. They were cheap games. They're older games. I picked them up because they looked like Red Alert and Generals and things like that. And I thought, you know what, anything that's like that, I'll give it a go. So then we have Against the Storm, which is like, I really hope that this is all working. Let me just have a little look, because I'm a bit, I was a bit paranoid that I'm doing this, I'm streaming this, and then for some reason it's just not working. Because I don't have anyone watching, come on. Who do you think I am? Famous? Popular? Absolutely not. So I have to check to make sure. Sorry, but don't want to be doing this for... Well, I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? I am recording, aren't I? Yes. I am. Alright, it's streaming. Okay, good. Good. Alright, fantastic. Yeah, alright. All good. Easy. No problem. Right. Sweet. Great. Fantastic. Alright. That's fine. We don't need to worry about that now. Cool. Thanks for bearing with me. Alright. Against the Storm is this, like, pretty recent game. It's still in early access, I believe. It has overwhelmingly positive reviews. It looked very interesting. Very beautiful art style. Very interested to play that. Haven't gotten around to it yet. Again, common thing with my games. Okay, next few rows. Age of Decadence. I believe made by one guy. A CRPG, kind of low budget, but has quite a few different elements to it, which are quite interesting. I copped that really cheap a while back. Then we have all the 5 different we have Age of Empires Definitive Edition, Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition, Age of Empires 3, and Age of Empires 2 HD Edition. Yep. I've never played any of the definitive editions. And Age of Empires 1 full stop because of that. Only 2 and 3, the originals. And I really like them, but they've never been, like, some people swear by the Age of Empire games, and that's fair enough. I've never found them to be my favorite sort of, what would you call them? Tactical city building, RTS, something like that. They've never been my favorites. I always preferred Command and Conquer, or like Heroes of Might and Magic, but I do like them. They're quite good, and I think they deserve a lot more. They deserve a lot more time for me to spend on them. Yeah, I wish I had some friends that played the games, but alas. Age of Mythology Extended Edition. Age of Mythology, I tried. Unlike the other ones, the Age of Empires games, I tried Age of Mythology. Wasn't too big of a fan. I know there's some people who really, really love it. Sure, it's fun if you get into it, but I didn't know anything about it, and it was quite complicated for some reason. Maybe it's not at all, but I couldn't get into it. Age of Wonders 3 I always liked. It was one of those games I played as a kid. As a teen. Liked it. And I recently started playing it again for a little while, but probably getting into it because I just have so much stuff to do. Age of Wonders Planetfall picked up very cheap. It was, it seemed to have good reviews, also some negative reviews, but looks interesting enough. Perhaps a better version of Civ Beyond Civilization. What is it, Beyond Civilization? Beyond Earth. Yeah. Why would it be called Civ Beyond Civ? That makes no sense. Anyway, Civ is probably the series I preferred always over Age of Empires. Anyway, because Civ 4 was like one of my first introductions to like the strategy genre alongside Red Alert 2. Anyway, so Alan Wake. This is a game I've actually finished. Quite good, quite fun. It wasn't one of my favorite games, but it was very good for what it was doing. I liked it a lot. I'm curious what the second one will be like. I liked it a lot. It's a good bit of a slow burn horror game. It's not very slow burn, but it's like it's perhaps not as slow burn as something like Alien Isolation, but I just certainly didn't play that because, well, I tried, and then also my wife tried, and we both were like, nah, this is not happening. Too scary. No. So, Alice Madness Returns. No idea. I remember seeing that game as a kid a lot, being interested in it, but never getting my hands on it. So I saw it on Steam, picked it up for cheap. But yeah, Alan Wake anyway is a good game, fun. It's just one of those games that I think I know a lot of people. I don't know a lot of people talk about it anymore, but it had some very interesting ideas, and it was very much like, it's weird when I think about it because it was very much like one of those games that it kind of. I shouldn't start ranting because I'll start ranting about games, and the time will just. I just realized I just completely got rid of the stopwatch. Let me just bring that back up. So clever. Okay. All right. Enough mumbo jumbo. Let's keep going because we got so much to get through. Alone in the Dark. Alone in the Dark was a game that everyone had high hopes for. It was kind of a big. I mean, it bombed, but it was really sad because it has some advancements. It had some advancements, notably in the fire, and it had lots of different game mechanics that weren't either earlier used or used worse than the game did. But because it had so many mechanics and it tried to do everything at once, it didn't work really well. It had problems, and the voice acting is hilariously bad. But it was weird because it was a game that I actually owned. It was one of the first PC games I ever owned. But I wasn't able to play it because the PC I had wouldn't run it, obviously, because it was advanced at the time, right, for PCs, with the fire and stuff like that. So I couldn't run it. So I never got past the beginning because it was running in like, I don't know, 5 FPS or whatever, 10 FPS maybe. And it was too scary for me anyway when I was like 10. So I preferred Oblivion, which is what I played every single day when I was that young. Oblivion and World of Warcraft. So Then we have Alpha Protocol, which is a fantastic game. I've finished on Xbox multiple times, finished on PC. It's a great RPG released by Sega and developed by Obsidian. Of course, the people who made Fallout New Vegas and a bunch of other stuff. Great, great game, very underrated. Sadly, it's no longer available for purchase on Steam. It's a big shame, but I purchased it many, many years ago. So if you can pick it up anywhere, get it, because it's it's very fun, and it takes you to like Dubai. You go to not Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Rome, Taipei, and Moscow. So a nice variety of locations, and it's like a tactical espionage RPG. It's great. American Truck Simulator, just like Euro Truck Simulator 2, fantastic. I love playing it with the Logitech wheel. Very fun. DLC policy that's actually like worth it. Unlike Paradox, they put a lot of effort into their DLCs, and I think their model definitely works for them. So very, very fun, very, very fun games, very fun simulators. A Medieval, made by the same people as Ultra Kill, I think, Ultra Kill and Dusk. Don't know much about it. I haven't given it a go, but it's like a part of that newer genre of, I guess you call boomer shooters, but they are very stylistic and they're very pretty, and like Gloomwood as well, which both of those games we do have as well. But yeah, should still give that a go. But hear good things, overwhelmingly positive reviews and all that. Amnesia, Machine for Pigs, Dark Descent. Okay, those are games that I've had since the beginning of my Steam account, but I never played them because I'd seen them entirely being played by other people, and they're not kind of game. I got them for free, you know. They got games that I find that particularly interesting. So yeah, I never really wanted to play them or anything. I just kind of kept them for collection's sake, and I mean they are influential games, or to Dark Descent is. I think Machine for Pigs is a bit derivative of its original concept. Then we have a fantastic series here, which I only have 3 of the games, but Anno 1404, Anno 2070, and 2205. And I will say, Anno is such an underrated series. It's something that doesn't get enough credit. I think it's such a good city building series, and Anno 1404 especially, I have so much nostalgia for when I was young. I played it on the Wii, for God's sake. Then I got it on PC, the original version, and then I eventually got it on Steam. It's so fun. It's so good. I haven't played Anno 1800 yet, which is on Steam as well. I haven't been able to cop that, but that looks fun. That looks like a lot of fun. Well, I hear a lot of people say it's the best one, which is pretty cool. Pretty nice to hear that. Then we have Arcanum of Steamworks and Magic Obscura, which I purchased after watching Mandalore's video about it. I haven't played it yet, obviously, but it looks very interesting, very cool. Reminded me a bit of Sacred, which might be completely wrong, but it did. It looks cool. Then we go on to Arx Fatalis, which again I purchased after the Mandalore video. Mandalore Gaming, fantastic channel, check it out. Doesn't need my shout out, but you should check him out. He has some fantastic videos about more, not obscure games, but more obscure games. Like another game I purchased because of Mandalore was Dark Messiah. Incredible stuff. Ashes of Escalation. Ashes of Singularity Escalation. A game I purchased. Oh, I didn't purchase. I think I purchased it because it was a few dollars, but then I purchased it because I got Sins of a Solar Empire for free, and I heard good things about both games. I heard good things. God, I heard good things about both games, and I do want to play them. So then we have Arma 2, Operation Arrowhead, and Arma 3. Both of those games I have many hundreds of hours in, especially Arma 2. Games I absolutely love, especially because I prefer Arma 2 actually, but it's because I used to play the DayZ mod. I never really liked the DayZ game when it released its standalone, but I always loved playing the mod. Oh my god, the crazy modded DayZ servers. Amazing stuff. Amazing fun with friends. Just a fantastic time. An absolutely fantastic time. And I'm just gonna quickly check this because I'm so paranoid. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Yeah, okay. Alright, I'm way too paranoid for this. There we go. Like, um, there we go. Alright, sorry about that. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm really paranoid that because I've done this so many times where I've like been streaming for like an hour and a half, 2 hours even, and I'm just like not recording my voice, or you can't even see the screen. It's happened way too many times for my liking. So, um, yeah. Okay, next up. Yeah, Arma 2, Arma 3, fantastic games. Definitely recommend that. Definitely recommended. And uh, I do look forward to seeing Arma 4. I think Arma 4 could be really interesting if they do it well. If they do it well. Okay. All right. Okay. Next up. Gosh, sorry about the interruptions. My goodness. Assassin's Creed. So we have all of the Assassin's Creed games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I think the only ones I'm missing from there, the only ones that are missing are Freedom Cry and Liberation, right? But I don't really consider those. They're not mainline entries, and like, yeah, they're kind of whatever, you know. They're not really that special. And I wasn't especially interested, and I'll tell you for why. I'll go through them. So Assassin's Creed 1 I played on Xbox 360 when it came out when I was very young. I loved it. It was really good. Going back to it now, it's probably not as fun because it's pretty much just like it's like what Just Cause is. It's Just Cause 2. It's like almost like a beta of the second game. Then Assassin's Creed 2 on bottom release. It's fantastic. It's amazing. It's one of the best Assassin's Creeds. Probably the best still. But I have my top 3 of the games that I've played so far. I haven't played all of them. Brotherhood. I love Brotherhood. It's fantastic. Is it as good as Assassin's Creed 2? Probably not, but it is very good still. It's very fun. I think the only reason I don't like it as much is because I didn't like Rome as much as I did Florence and Venice, but it's still very good. Revelations is good, but it's not as good. It's more of a... It's like okay, you know. Constantinople is fine, but it's not as nice as the Italian cities. But it's especially because it's like, I don't know, the story is a lot less focused and a lot less interesting, in my opinion. Then Assassin's Creed 3, and you might notice that it says remastered, and that's because I spent many hours playing the original Assassin's Creed 3 on Steam until I was like 12 hours in, 13 hours in, I stopped playing, and then I went back the next day to play again, and my save was corrupted. So I said, fuck, I'm not playing this, whatever, cool, no worries. I bought Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I got a free copy of Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered. So I thought, okay, let's give it another go. It can't be happening again, this and that. And then after 7 hours, same thing happened. Save game corrupted. So I thought, fuck this, I'm not playing this again. But it's a shame because Assassin's Creed 3 I actually quite enjoyed. That's what it is. Couldn't be bothered after 20 hours of wasted time. I didn't really want to spend any more time on it. So I went on to Black Flag, and I thought I was going to enjoy it a lot. And although it was okay, I don't understand why people think it's the best Assassin's Creed. It's not even an Assassin's Creed game. It's so different from the other games. It's good, it's fun, sure, but if you like the pirate thing, it's great, and it's, you know, if you like the pirate thing, you probably really love Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but it wasn't for me. No hate. I'm sure obviously it's fun and it's good, but it wasn't for me. Assassin's Creed Rogue, same thing. Same thing. I tried to play it after Assassin's Creed Black Flag. After putting that down after about 8 hours, I played Rogue, and I put that down after about 4 hours because I just didn't enjoy that sort of, maybe the era. I think maybe it was the era. And had I continued playing Assassin's Creed 3, I probably wouldn't enjoy it either. So I don't know. Then came Unity, and Unity I loved, and I think that probably when it came out it deserved the hate, but now If you play Unity now, it's one of the better Assassin's Creeds for sure. The movement in Unity is the best in the series by far. I think the only thing that beats what am I trying to say? The only thing that makes Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood better to me is Ezio. It's the characters and the other characters as well. But in terms of the movement and the world, I think Unity is fantastic and beautiful and amazing, and I think the story is pretty good too. Then Assassin's Creed Syndicate came round. Syndicate is not good. It is okay, but they played it way too safe. If they had made the cover of the game, what was his name, Jacob, sitting there, and then have them be like, well, you can play two characters. You can play Jacob and Evie. Fun, great, awesome. But then what they should have done, in my opinion, should have killed off Jacob in the first mission. They still technically would have had two protagonists, but then the whole game would be played through Evie, who's the better character anyway in this situation. But then there would have actually been stakes. You know, there would have been something like, oh, one of them got killed, and now there needs to be revenge. That's so much more interesting than, also, although basic, it's more interesting than whatever they gave us, where it's just, I played for 16, I think, hours before being like, ah, I'm not playing this anymore, because it wasn't interesting. It wasn't engaging at all compared to Unity. There was motive in Unity where, hold on. Wow, I look absolutely dreadful. God. Hell yeah. Okay. Oh god. Oh god. Alright. Anyway. Then Odyssey, Origins, and Valhalla. I have not played. I haven't played yet. But I think, although some people really don't like them and want to go back to the more structured Assassin's Creed, which I understand, those were great. If you could bring me anything like 2 and Brotherhood, I would love that. But Odyssey, Origins, and Valhalla are particularly interesting to me because I really do enjoy the worlds. The worlds, especially Odyssey and Origins. The worlds are so interesting and detailed, and I really would like to explore them. I haven't taken the time yet because they're very long games, and I really want to really dig into them and enjoy them. They seem right up my alley since I really like the open world RPG style, or at least I think I'll like it. I haven't played any of the games, so I'm not sure. But moving on, because we're almost again half an hour in, and we're only at B. Christ, I'll try to hurry up a little bit. We have, because I'm not splitting this into parts. I'm not. Assetto Corsa and Competizione. I'm not Italian, so I don't know how to pronounce that. But Assetto Corsa and its GT sequel, spin-off, whatever. I hear some of my friends is their favorite racing game or games, and they really love the way it handles and it works, and they handle quite differently from each other, but they like the aesthetic and they really like it, and the fact that there's a lot of mods for it is great too. Haven't dug into them yet, but I will definitely give them a go. Been very much into Formula 1 and Forza Horizon recently. Asterix Imperium, just a cheap game that's in early access, but I think it's made by one guy who kind of had the idea to take EVE Online and make it into a single player experience, and it was a couple of dollars. So I thought, you know what, or euros, I guess. It was a couple of euros, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get it. It's made by one guy. This guy seems to be releasing updates every few weeks. Let's support him because the game looks interesting. Atomic Heart was actually one of the only 4 games in the last, I think, 5 or 6 years I've bought full price when on the day it released. Those games, by the way, are Cyberpunk, Elden Ring, Atomic Heart, and Formula 1 23, which just came out last month. I really liked Atomic Heart. A lot of people didn't like it. It felt let down, but I think they were expecting Bioshock 3, and I mean, that's not what it was going to be. But it was great. I really did enjoy it, and I would probably say that the strongest part of the entire game was the soundtrack. I think this. I still listen to the soundtrack now, on Spotify. It's a fantastic soundtrack, and they did a really good job. The aesthetic of the world is very nice, and it's something unique. So, although it has the foundations of a immersive sim like Prey or Bioshock, it certainly has its own spin on things, which I appreciate. Um, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, obviously fantastic, legendary games. I have not been able to put any time into, but I certainly will because again, they are very iconic games and pretty much foundation of the foundation of the whole CRPG genre. Barotrauma, a game I bought for myself and my wife, and we haven't gotten around to playing it yet. Seems to be pretty good, pretty interesting. Batman Arkham, the series. So Arkham Knight, Arkham Asylum, City, Origins, and Knight. Played Asylum, really liked it. Played City, it was kind of good, but then I was also like, that's enough, Batman now. And then I waited 2 years, I played Arkham Origins, and I didn't finish it because I was like, I don't really want to play more of this. So I've never really touched Arkham Knight. Nothing against this series. I mean, I really love Arkham Asylum. It's really good, really, really good. City's great too, but then you're kind of like, oh, kind of had enough now. Maybe in the future I'll go back and play Arkham Knight and enjoy it. Then we have BattleBit Remastered, which I've been enjoying a lot. That came out only a couple of weeks ago, and Erica and I have been playing it quite a bit. It's good fun. It's just Battlefield, but in like voxel graphics, low polygon voxel graphics. But what makes it so fun for someone who always enjoyed playing Battlefield 3, the Operation 24-hour Operation Metro Chaos. It's great because it's 127 versus 127, which is just awesome. Lovely chaos craziness. Then we have the Battlefield series: Battlefield 1, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, Battlefield Bad Company 2, Hardline, and 5. 1 I really liked. I've played. I've covered 1 and 5 and 4's campaigns on my channel, so check them out if you're interested. 4's campaign is not very memorable. It's pretty funny in some aspects. It's okay. Battlefield 1 campaign is pretty good. It's pretty good. 5 is also pretty good. Nothing crazy. 3 is notoriously bad. But again, just like 4, it's kind of funny, kind of silly. And Bad Company 2 and Hardline I've never played. I just picked up Battlefield Bad Company 2 before they delisted it, and I picked up Hardline because I thought, well, why not? It's cheap. I thought, I always heard kind of mixed things about it. Some people love it, some people don't like it at all. Thought, let's try it out. It seems fun. Battlefield Gothic Armada 2. Yeah, I don't know. Again, a game I bought because of Mandalore. So I'm just going to chuck it up to that because I don't know a lot about the game apart from what he showed off in his video a couple of years ago. Looks very cool though. Bayonetta, fantastic hack and slash, yeah, like a hack and slash like DMC, God of War, the early God of Wars. Bayonetta, fantastic, super fun. Amazing characters, amazing music, great boss fights. Yeah, just sad that 2 and 3 aren't on Steam, but I understand why. Nintendo, looking at you. All right, BeamNG.drive is you probably know it. It's like this. Just look up on YouTube, BeamNG.drive. I think you'll find plenty to watch. It's a pretty iconic thing at this point. Also been in early access for about 10 years now, but a very, very cool, very impressive thing that they've created. Bejeweled 3 is kind of a bit of a guilty pleasure. Bejeweled is always fun. Match 3 games always been a bit of a guilty pleasure, but as you'll see. Besiege I haven't played. I recently got that as a gift for it was a couple of dollars. So it's I definitely would check it out. It has very good reviews and a lot of people are very happy, very positive about it. Beyond Divinity is the sequel to Divine Divinity, which is the first game in the Divinity series. I haven't played any of them yet. I played the Divinity Original Sin, the first one, not all the way through. I really should be doing that though. Big Mother Truckers 2 is a sequel to Big Mother Truckers, which is a game I played as a kid, which is sadly not available on Steam, but this is a sequel, and I got it because, again, it was only a few dollars. Binary Domain is this kind of weird game where, like, these soldiers go into Japan, I think? They go into, like, futuristic Japan, and everyone is, like, half robot, and I don't know. It's a bit of a very interesting game. I don't know a lot about it. I just know that a lot of people like it, and again, got it for cheap. Binding of Isaac. Oh God, we have so many things to get through. We're speeding up a little bit now. All right, let's go a bit quicker. Binding of Isaac, first one, very fun, but it was made in Flash, and it has its own aesthetic, but it lacks a little bit in a couple of different departments. And then, of course, Rebirth is fantastic. One of my most played games on Steam. In fact, it's my second most played game on Steam. Third, might be my third, but I have a couple of hundreds of hours in it. It's a great fun game. If you've never played it, give it a go. It's a fantastic roguelike. It's Binding of Isaac is fantastic. BioShock, one of the greatest games ever made. What can I say? It's BioShock. You know, it's near perfect in terms of storytelling, gameplay. It's great. It has its flaws, sure, but it's in terms of in the video game medium, it's up there. It's right up there. BioShock 2 is still really, really good, and a lot of people don't like it. It's no BioShock 1, but it's still very good. It's a very good game. Simple as that. I think it's really fun. BioShock Infinite is also very good. I don't know if I like it as much as the first two, but it has its own aesthetic, and I wish there was more BioShock games. You know, it's sad that there isn't, but they are special. You know, Black Desert Online is an interesting MMO, which I have only spent about 20, maybe 15 hours in. Yeah, it's way too. You know, I played WoW. I didn't want to get. This is the same reason I haven't played Elder Scrolls Online for more than like 10 or 20 hours, because I just can't commit to other MMOs when I've always played WoW, and then also I'm not even playing WoW anymore. So, all right, Black Mesa. My wife recently played that and loved it. It's like a different. It's like sort of. I don't know if it's a remake. I've never played Half-Life. That's really important to mention. Never played any of the Half-Life games. So Black Mesa, I think, is Half-Life 1. Is that correct? I think. But like remade or remaster or whatever. And she really enjoyed it. So, she had played all the Half-Life games previously to that. Blasphemous is like I don't know how to describe it. It looks very cool. That's all I'm gonna say. It looks very, very cool. It's very pretty, very nice art style. It's like a Souls-like, but it's like a side-scrolling Souls-like. Yeah, looks fun, interesting game. Blaze Blue. We have all 4 games there. Played 2 of them, not played the other 2. They're fun, very pretty art style, some cool characters. Is it my favorite fighting game? No. But it is very cool. It is fun. Blood Rain and Blood Rain 2, the terminal cut version of the game. Picked it up because they're cheap. They look cool. That's it. Don't know anything else. Blur, something that I always used to play at my friend's house when I was a kid. I never owned a copy, yeah. I should mention, there are some games here that aren't on Steam that have just added, like the 007 games. Some of the games I just don't own, and I have added them to my Steam, so that the library looks nice. You can add non-Steam games to Steam to your library. So Blur is fantastic, and I've had a lot of good memories from it, playing it with my friends as a kid, or at my friend's house. Very fun racing game. The Borderlands series. I've not played the pre-sequel or Borderlands 3. I played Borderlands 1 for plenty of time. I played the remake, or the Game of the Year version, and the original version for 15 hours each, and each time I wanted to give it my best try, and I just couldn't force myself to sit through it. And I played Borderlands 2, and I liked it more, but I didn't really like it that much either, which is really sad because I know how much people like this series, and it's very hard to play without friends. By yourself, it's pretty lonesome. It isn't very interactable, crazy, interactive world. So it's very if you don't have friends, it's not as interesting as it could be. Brigador is a beautiful game. Again, another game I bought because of Mandalore. He has a fantastic channel, and some of the games that he talks about I'd never heard of, and immediately got me to buy them. Then we have the Brothers in Arms series. Brothers in Arms, Earth and Blood, Hell's Highway, and Road to Hill 30. All games I've played and finished. Hell's Highway specifically is very cool because they even speak Dutch in the game, but it's set in the Netherlands. They're in Eindhoven. They're in a bunch of towns I know, which is very cool. And obviously, Earth and Blood and Road to Hill 30, they're in France and Belgium. Very cool games. I wish there was more Brothers in Arms games. They're very fun. I still have some. I played Road to Hill 30 and Earth and Blood alongside my. We both played at the same time with my wife. She wanted to play through them. Bulletstorm, I did not enjoy. I tried it. I didn't like it very much. Bully, I've seen the whole game sadly multiple times, but I haven't played it myself. It was one of the first games I owned on Steam. But I love the story. I love the characters in it. Yeah, it's a it's very cool. I like it a lot. Then, yeah, Burnout Paradise, which is the only Burnout game I've played, and I really like it. So yeah, although that's the remastered, it says remastered there. It's not actually the remastered version. It's the Ultimate Box, and I don't know why I've added the remastered grid there. That's a bit weird. All of the Call of Duty games, only 2 missing, which is the new Modern Warfare 2 and Vanguard. Not for any particular reason, just because they're expensive. Call of Duty 1, pretty great. Call of Duty 2, very, very amazing. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1, very fantastic, obviously. Advanced Warfare, I actually liked, which is like surprising. I didn't think I would. I actually did like it a lot. Black Ops 1, is it the best? Ooh, for me, it's between Black Ops 1 and Modern Warfare 2. You can tell when I was playing then because I played through Modern Warfare. World at War was my first multiplayer experience in Call of Duty, and then Modern Warfare 2 was my first proper beginning to end experience. Cold War I haven't played, but it looks very interesting. Black Ops 2 was my last Call of Duty game. I played it over a 4-year period. Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3, and Black Ops 2. When Ghost came out, I didn't buy Ghosts, so I was Call of Duty free from 2012 onwards. Or 2013 onwards, I should say. Black Ops 3 haven't played. Ghosts, I played through the campaign and I thought it was pretty bad, but it wasn't as bad as Infinite Warfare, which was the worst easily because it was the only Call of Duty game so far that I wasn't even able to finish because it was so boring. Modern Warfare 1, the new one, looks very cool. Curious to play that. Modern Warfare 2, obviously, is probably the best Call of Duty and my favorite. If not Black Ops 1. Black Ops 1 still has my favorite zombies. Modern Warfare Modern Warfare 3. Also very good, a bit underrated compared to the other games. I think it did a lot better than people give it credit for, even though certain things weren't as good as they were at some point. World at War, I should probably say, is probably my favorite single player experience out of all of them. I think Black Ops has the best zombies, Modern Warfare 2 has the best multiplayer, and Call of Duty World at War had the best story, or the best main campaign. And then you have the World War II thing, which I haven't played either. I got that for free many years ago, so I haven't played. So then we have the Call of Juarez games. Call of Juarez, Bound in Blood, Gunslinger, and the Cartel. I only played Gunslinger, and I love Gunslinger. It's really, really good. Played through it like 3 times. It's a really good game. I haven't played any of the other ones. Disney Cars, yeah. I don't know why I have that. It was cheap again, and it's something that I played it during my youth a lot when I was very young, and I really liked Cars. It's known as one of the best kind of kids games. It always gets brought up in the conversation of what are the best sort of kid friendly games. And something else that was very good was obviously Simpsons Hit and Run, which I also do have because of course I have problems. Castlevania Lords of Shadow 1 and 2, they're like God of War games, clones, I should say. I haven't played them. Look fun though. Catherine is awesome. It's a very, very fun game. I had my doubts about it previously, but my wife just kept going on and on, and she was like, "This is so good," blah, blah, blah. And I really did like it. I played through it twice back to back. Very fun game. Catherine of the Sea is definitely the best choice. Especially after seeing the endings. Then we have the Chronicles of Miritana, which I haven't played, which is a sort of it's free. I think it's one of the best rated things on Steam, and it's free. It's like I think it's a separate. It's like a mod of Gothic 2. I think, if I'm not mistaken. People seem to love it a lot. Chronicles of Riddick, Chronicles of Riddick, Assault on Dark Athena, plus Escape from Butcher Bay. Vin Diesel. Yep. I don't know what else to say. I've never played those games. City Skylines is fantastic. If you haven't played City Skylines, go for it. Give it a go. Definitely give it a big go because it's very, very fun. I mean, City Skylines is great. It's probably easily the best city builder out there. It has to be. Fuck it. Yeah, it definitely has to be. It's so fun. And it's the game that caused me to upgrade to 64 gigs of RAM just so I could add as many mods as I wanted. Code Vein, Souls-like, but it's like in an anime vein. Sorry. It looks very cool, but it's I don't know if I'll enjoy it as much as I do Dark Souls and things. But it looks fun enough. Command & Conquer Generals and Zero Hour, fantastic RTSs, and so are these other ones. Red Alert 2, probably my favorite of all time in terms of RTSs. Yuri's Revenge, of course. Command & Conquer Remastered. Collection of the first, what is it, Tiberian... Is it Tiberian Dawn? Tiberian Sun? Tiberian... It would be Sun. Or Dawn, wouldn't it? I don't know, whatever. Doesn't matter. Renegade, which gets a lot of slack, but I really enjoyed it. It's like very much. I had the book set of all the older games of like a whole collection of it. It had Red Alert 2, Yuri's Revenge, Renegade. It didn't have Generals. I had those separately, but it also had Tiberian Sun and a couple more all together. And then you have Kane's Wrath and Tiberian Wars, and then you have Red Alert 3 and Uprising. I love all of those games. I think just the Command & Conquer games, apart from Twilight, I think all are fucking really, really good and really deserve praise and really deserve to be played and enjoyed. And bloody EA, the fact that they haven't brought them back is a travesty because I can't understand why not. Because what licensing would there be involved? I mean, the thing is, like, they're like, oh, well, maybe the people, because they have, like, live-action cutscenes. But then why isn't Generals back? You know? Whatever. It's their loss. Then we have Company of Heroes 1, 2, Opposing Fronts, and Tales of Valor, which are these... I mean, Company of Heroes 1 is known as one of the best... I mean, it's well known as one of the best RTSs in the world. Easily. And I think what they did with Company of Heroes 3 is pretty sad. I think that it deserves a lot more love. This series, for what the status it has among fans, and yeah, I think it deserves a lot more attention. Anyway, I'm drifting off. Here we have one of my favorites of all time. Sorry, I was just checking my thing before it goes off. Making sure everything is running smoothly. There we go. All right, we're fine now. Let's go. Oh god. Condemned. Yes, Condemned. Condemned Criminal Origins is one of the best horror games ever made, and it is one of the funnest experiences you can have. If you just have one day and you just want to play it through a whole game in a day, if you have like a good like 7 hours, I would definitely play Condemned Criminal Origins. It's from 2006. It was released by Sega. Its sequel wasn't as good, but it still should have been on Steam, and I don't know why they never released it on for the PC. I would kill to have that on Steam. Um, it's really really fun. It's really fun, and I'll definitely do a video about it in the future because it is. If you want to watch a video about it now, go watch Pyro's video, Pyrocynical. Watch his video about it. He has like an hour-long video about it. It's very, very cool. Condemned, well worth playing. Well worth your time. Anyway, sorry. There's just certain games I have to talk a little bit more about because they were spectacular. Spectacular. Yes. Control, haven't played it. Looks beautiful. Looks interesting. Haven't played it. Simple as that. Can't say anything about it. The Council is a something that people have completely has gone over their head. I think it was more, yeah, okay, the characters look a bit uncanny, but I think the story and the I have a bit of a weakness for anything that has to do with historical characters or alternative history. But I think that the story of it is better than a lot of the Telltale games. No, I'm going to get slack for that, but I think it's really good and underappreciated. Counter Strike is Counter Strike. I don't have to fucking tell you what that is. Counter Strike is Counter Strike. Never really been a big fan of those games, and nor Team Fortress or anything like that. So, don't even know what to tell you. Don't know what to tell you. Don't play League of Legends. Don't play Dota. Don't play Valorant. Don't play none of that. So, don't know what to tell you. Crash Bandicoot. Insane Trilogy. Very fun, but just horrifically difficult. Fair enough, I guess. It's selling point in a way. I always preferred Spyro and of course Sly Raccoon, which why isn't it on Steam? For God's sake, just bring it out on Steam. Sly Raccoon 1, 2, 3, 4, even just 1, 2, 3. I mean, it would be preferred to have all four on here, but the fact that they haven't done this is just ridiculous. Yeah, release Last of Us again and again and again, but no, actual quality, actual Kino, you don't want to release. Terrible. Whatever. I'm not salty. Crash Time 2 and Crash Time 3. I won't talk about those now because I'll certainly talk about those in the future because they're pretty interesting. Crash Day Redline. Again, kind of a weird game, pretty damn cheap, but good amount of fun, and people seem to like it. The Crew, and The Crew 2. Big open world, all of the United States, just an enormous landmass, just very, very fun to cruise around. Certainly not the best driving physics or the best looking games, but the sheer size, they have to cut corners somewhere to get that enormous map. I think the Crew 1 has one big advantage, and that's the fact that it has a lot more landmarks, because they had to remove a lot due to having planes. And I think 2 loses a lot of its shine because it has the planes and boats, which are so useless. I think just having the cars is good enough. I don't think you need the planes and the boats at all. Then we have Cruelty Squad, which I recently got because of Pyro's video, and I thought, you know what, this looks pretty interesting. I've always seen it around, but it looks headache-inducing, obviously. And I'll check it out. I didn't watch Pyro's video though because I wanted to kind of explore it for myself. Crusader Kings 2 and 3, bloody love them. Bloody great games. I think 2 is still better than 3 at this point, because of the way Paradox make their games, kind of piecemeal. But 3 is very fun as well. And yeah, Crusader Kings, big up, awesome games, great stuff. Crysis, a series I've never played. My friend bought it for me many years ago. All of the games, and I haven't played them yet, and he always swore by it. He was like, "This is one of my favorite top 3 series of all time." And I was just like, oh, I don't know. It's just okay, but I'll play them at some point. It's just crazy how many games I have to still play. Cuphead, fantastic game. My friend was like, "This game is hard." It took me, as you can see, 8 hours. It beat the whole thing. It really isn't that difficult. It really wasn't that hard. I don't know why it was very easy to me, but it was a lot easier than things like Dark Souls and whatever. I haven't played Hollow Knight, which I think will be a lot more difficult than Cuphead. I think Cuphead was one of those things that was like hyped up so much, like this is so hard and whatever. It's really not that difficult. But it's very fun, very beautiful art style, good music. Um, Cyberpunk, Cyberpunk. I mean, a lot of people hate it, a lot of people love it. I'm on the loving side. I really enjoyed it, and I would love to go back when Phantom Liberty comes out and mod the fuck out of the game and just play it again from start to finish. Yeah, I liked it a lot. Played it when it came out. Look, 90 hours. Played it in 3 weeks. I played 90 hours, and then I didn't touch it anymore. So the last time I played it was on the 1st of January 2021, and I haven't played it since. And yeah, I spent 90 hours in that world in 3 weeks, and then just didn't touch it anymore. But it was very fun. It was very fun, and I'm keen to go back. Keen to go back and see what it's like, what they've done. Because I haven't played. I played before all the patches. There wasn't even player housing back then. So Danganronpa 1, 2, 3. I've only played Danganronpa 1 so far. I love Danganronpa. Danganronpa 2 and 3. Very different, or same sort of games, but very different characters and all that. So I'm curious to play those. They look very fun. Dark Messiah, Might and Magic. A game that I bought because of Mandalore, as I said. Very incredible, interesting physics. Just a very, very interesting thing that I do want to experience, because it's some of the things that are in the game are a bit ahead of its time back in 2006. Dark Souls, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, and Dark Souls Remastered. Dark Souls is, if someone had to say to me like, number one role playing game series, I would say the Soul series, because they are so, each game has so much to it. You know, it's just fantastic. I mean, I don't have to sit here and blabber about Dark Souls and whatnot, but yeah, I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, 2 is definitely the worst." I think, yeah, it probably is the worst, but that doesn't mean that 2 isn't better than 80% of other games out there. You know, probably 90% of other games out there, to be honest, with the amount of schlock that is being released nowadays. Um, but 1 and 3 are just masterpieces. Um, sorry. Dark. Let me have some. Let me have some water. That might be good. Darkest Dungeon. Ooh. Something that I've tried, but I haven't probably played or anything. People seem to like it, but people don't seem to like the second one. I don't know what happened there. Darkest of Days. A game I'll definitely be doing a video on in the future. Sorry. Oh, God, okay. Sorry. I've been already talking for almost an hour, or have been talking for an hour, and we're on D, so that's not good. Fuck. Alright. Speed up. Darkness 2. Darkness 1 I've never played. Darkness 2 is fantastic. It's a very short game, as you can see. 7.5 hours, finish the whole thing. Very, very fun. Very cool abilities, very cool gunplay, very nice aesthetic. Like the story too. Very fun. Give it a go. It's cheap, it's short, give it a go. Darksiders 2 and 3, Darksiders 1 and 2 haven't played. Got them for free from a friend. Got them for free from a friend. My friend bought a bundle and he already owned them, so he gave them to me. Not played them. Look interesting, but haven't had the time yet. Days Gone, fantastic. Days Gone is fantastic, and it's one of, if not the best thing Sony has released onto Steam. They have only released their worst, they're just their worst stuff. They're not releasing any of their good stuff for some reason, and it's bothering me. But Days Gone was really good and underappreciated, I think. DayZ, the standalone version, I haven't played in many years because I just always preferred the mods for Armor. Dead Rising is a series I really want to get into because my wife won't shut up about it. She really loves all of the games, and yeah, I really need to start them because I hear nothing but good things apart from 4, but even that would still be fun to play. Dead Space 1, 2, and 3. I have seen the whole games back in the day, but I haven't played them myself, which I would certainly do because, well, people like them, and apart from 3 perhaps, but um, yeah, they look interesting enough. Deadly Dozen Reloaded. I got because of a guy called Mini Me. Check out his channel. He reviews quite obscure games, underappreciated games. And Deadly Dozen was this series, or these games was Deadly Dozen and Deadly Dozen Pacific Theater, which came out many years ago, and then suddenly Deadly Dozen Reloaded came out, which was this like remake of the original. And you can buy the originals on Steam too, but I like the look of Reloaded, and I will definitely give it a go, even though it has like, I don't know, 20 reviews. It's pretty dang obscure. It's like Hidden and Dangerous, if you know that, but a bit different. Deadly Premonition, you probably have already seen this game. There's a guy called Totally Pointless TV. If you should support him, he's great. He makes very long videos about very interesting games, and he has a very cool video about Deadly Premonition. So definitely go check him out. It's very obscure, not obscure, but a very strange story, very bizarre, but very cool to watch and experience. So one of the coolest concepts, in my opinion, for a video game. Even though it wasn't executed perfectly, it's still very good. Death to Spies, Moment of Truth in the original, are a bit strange. It's hard to explain. I saw them in gaming magazines when I was a kid. Never was able to find them anywhere. Got them when they were on Steam and didn't really enjoy them. So I probably will go back at some point in the future because they're a bit complicated. Death Stranding. I watched my wife. I watched my wife play Death Stranding. And yeah, it looks very cool. It's very pretty. But I haven't played it myself. Um, Obviously Hideo Kojima's first game since coming back from being fired by Konami, and hopefully the second one will be even better. So yeah, Deathloop. Oh god, Deathloop. I had to put it down, even though I liked it. I was just every game that Arcane has released has just given me the feeling that they struck gold with Dishonored and then never knew what to do with themselves afterwards, and just try to replicate that same, you know, golden egg, and they just never got it right, and they're just making it worse and worse and worse. Then we have Deep Space Waifu. 3 of the games. I got them from my wife as a present. They are played all of them. They are very fun. Nothing crazy special or anything, but they're a good amount of fun. Destroy All Humans. That's the remake. Hear good things about the remakes of both of the games, and certainly will give them a go. Again, gift from my wife. She loved the games when she was younger, but I never played them. Deus Ex. Deus Ex is a funny one to me because it's a game series that I've always looked up to and thought, oh, this series is gonna be great. And then when I got them on Steam and I played them, or at least the original and Human Revolution, I haven't played Mankind Divided, I was severely disappointed, especially with Human Revolution. The original is pretty good, but Human Revolution wasn't as interesting as I thought it was gonna be, sadly. I hope Mankind Divided will be a bit more interesting, but yeah, for some reason they weren't as crazy as I thought they were going to be. Maybe I had too high of expectations, but from what I've always heard was, oh, these games are fantastic. You'll enjoy them and whatnot. I see we've gone over an hour. We've now gone over an hour. My God. Okay. Devil May Cry 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Haven't played 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1. I've only played the DMC reboot, which I didn't enjoy, which is probably dumb to play that first, but it was the only game I owned, or the only DMC game I owned, and I never played any of the other ones, which they are very fun, and my wife always like goes on and she like awesome games, play them, and I probably really will like them since I love the original God of Wars and I love Bayonetta, so I will probably enjoy them. Oh my goodness, we have so much more to go. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. I love Digimon, and I'll probably, like I already talked about this in the other video, I'll probably really enjoy that one and Next Order, since I just love Digimon games. I always love Digimon games, but they got a bit shafted, to be honest, compared to Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, which always had the upper hands in the games. But I think the Digimon has such good freaking designs, better than Pokemon for certain, or later Pokemon for certain, even some earlier ones, to be honest. But whatever. Then we have Dirt, Dirt 2, Dirt 3, Dirt 4, Dirt Rally, and Dirt 2.0. Out of all of those, I've only ever played Dirt 2 on Xbox 360. Never played any of the other Dirts, but I'm interested to play them, and I got them because I got the Logitech steering wheel, and apparently they are fantastic with the steering wheel. Well, they should be enjoyed with the steering wheel, right? Then we've got Disco Elysium, which I've been recently playing, so I'm not going to comment on it because I'm right in the middle of the game. Dishonored is fantastic. My wife didn't like it. She thought it was bad, which was just baffling. I thought it was great. I thought Dishonored I played many times on PC and on Xbox 360. I thought it was fantastic. And then I even played it again on PS4. It's so good. It's so good. Dishonored 2 I haven't played though. I don't know if I'll like it as much, but I think I think I will. I think I will. Distance is a very interesting kind of a futuristic sort of racing game. Kind of a strange game to explain, but it's very fun to play multiplayer. Divine Divinity, of course, as I said before, is the first game in the Divinity series. Divinity 2, Ego Draconis, is the second game, or kind of the third game. It's a bit complicated. They have Divinity Original Sin and Divinity Original Sin 2. Then we have DMC, which was the only Devil May Cry game I ever played, it was pretty disappointing for what it was. It was okay, but it was pretty disappointing. We have the Doom reboot from 2016. It was a fantastic, amazing game. Doom Eternal I have not delved into. Doom 1, Doom 2, Doom 3 I have not played, but obviously they're Doom games. They are iconic, and I will play them at some point. Double Action Boogaloo is a hilariously fun free-to-play game, which I've played many hours of with my wife when we first met. So one of the first games we played together when we first met, because her computer couldn't run most games. So we played that and had so much fun with it. Oh my goodness, we are not even in the E's yet. I'm really trying to be quick, but there's so many games. It's hard to realize like how many games you have. I'm trying to summarize them and kind of talk about them. I don't know if anyone's even going to watch this or enjoy this, but it is whatever, man. Then, Dragon Age 2. Have not played it yet. Dragon Age Inquisition. Have not played it yet. Dragon Age Origins. I've loved. I've played it on. It's. Look at that. Oh, that last 2 weeks is really weird. I haven't played it since January. That's really weird why that says it like that. But sometimes Steam does that. So you can see 0 minutes, but 73.5 hours. I played that, and I also played it on Xbox previously when it came out, when I was about 11. I loved it, because I was very much into RPGs, and it kind of bridged the gap for me between Oblivion and Skyrim. And then obviously I had Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas in between, but they're different types of games, different style. Dragon Age Origins is great. Play it. If you haven't. Great. 2, obviously, it's a bit more controversial, but we won't get into that. Dragon Ball Xenoverse. It's fine. It's not Budokai Tenkaichi 2 and 3, or any of the Budokai or Budokai Tenkaichi games, and neither is Kakarot. But it's Dragon Ball Z. It's fun. Dragon's Dogma: Dark Arisen. Something that I'm very interested in playing. It was actually something that I was looking at and playing soon before the second one came out, because the second one looks freaking great. Drakensang. Fantastic, like weird, obscure sort of German games that I had a very big interest in playing. So they're the games that they're the reason that I changed my location from Australia to the Netherlands, my Steam store, because I wanted to buy them, and my friends tried to buy them for me, but they weren't allowed to because it says like, oh, your region is different, so you can't purchase it. Just stupid. Anyway, Dragonsang, very cool games. I haven't gotten around to playing. I mean, I only got them like 2 months ago, but they look very cool. We'll probably do a video about them at some point. Driver 3, Parallel Lines, and San Francisco. I've only played San Francisco, and Driver San Francisco is so good, man. It's so sad that Ubisoft just kind of just dropped the ball on that. But San Francisco, I hope we get another driver game at some point. Duke Nukem Forever and Megaton. Duke Nukem 3D. I don't know. I didn't play both. I didn't really like them. I gotta be honest with you. New Duke Nukem Forever is just. And I didn't even have nostalgia for it because obviously I was a kid, so I thought, this is naff. Dusk, very cool game, very cool shooter, very fast paced, very beautiful art, incredible stuff, good music. Dwarf Fortress, haven't taken the time to play it yet, but I will, and it is certainly something I'm interested in. As someone who loved Minecraft over the years, someone who loves games like strategy games and RTSs, I think Dwarf Fortress is right on my alley, and I definitely want to give it the respect it deserves for being so iconic. Dying Light. Oh my god, we are almost at EE. Fantastic. Dying Light. Very fun, a bit overrated perhaps, but a good time. Dynasty Warriors, haven't played any of the games. Can't say anything about it. Earth Defense Force, haven't played the games. Can't say anything about it. Eastshade, a bit of an underrated title there. Very interesting. A bit creepy in a way, but it is. It has also been very comfy vibes. Definitely something you should check out. But very underrated. El Matador, bizarre, cheap, older game, which I don't know anything about. Probably doing a video on it at some point if I can get it to work. Elden Ring, I don't really have to talk about Elden Ring. It's fantastic. I played it for 100 hours or whatever when it came out. Beat it. Great game. The Elder Scrolls games. Arena, Daggerfall, Morrowind, Oblivion. Online, Skyrim Special Edition. It's fantastic. I mean, it's the Elder Scrolls games. What am I going to say? I mean, Arena, I have never played. Daggerfall, I love. Morrowind, I adore. Oblivion, I would be in my top 3 of all time. Online is fine, but again, I don't have the time. Skyrim is fantastic, obviously. I hear good things about Nephilim, Enderal, both. Is it Nephilim? Nerim at Fate's Edge, not Nephilim. Elex. Very strange, made by Piranha Bytes, who made Risen and Gothic. Haven't played it, obviously. Again. Looks cool, though. Looks cool. Sorry, that was the dishwasher going blah. Endless Legend, yes. Endless Legend and Endless Space. Made by Sega. Or published by Sega. Especially Endless Space looks very fun. But I have not taken the time to play them again, or games I've owned for so long but not played them yet. And the Seth video about Endless Space is fantastic. Enemy Front is like a city interactive game, which I'm going to be doing a video on, so I'm not going to talk about that. Euro Truck Simulator 2, obviously. European Universalis 3 and 4. European Universalis 4 is my most played game on Steam, by far. It's the only game I have over 1,000 hours on, because it deserves it. It's one of my favorite, it's the best strategy game. It's so good. Just wish Paradox weren't such dogs. Evil Within and Evil Within 2. 2 I haven't played. 1 I didn't really like. I thought it was okay. I thought it was fun, but it wasn't really my thing. Didn't like the graphics, but I especially didn't like the controls and the camera. Divine Cybermancy. Very interesting game. Not something I've played. Very strange. And you need like a Reader's Digest War and Peace level book to understand the lore, but looks cool. F1 2019 and F1 2023. I was gonna buy 2020, but then they were removing it from Steam. Thanks, EA, fucking dogs. 23. I've had now, as you can see, I've played 68 and a half hours. This game came out less than a month ago, which is pretty bad. It's the only thing I've been, apart from working, I think that's the only thing I've been doing. Playing F1 2023. It's very fun, and it's probably the best F1 game to come out to this point. It feels fantastic to play, and it's beautiful as well. My team is just so fun. Fallout 1, 2, 3, 4, 76, and New Vegas. Oh, and Tactics. Never played 1 and 2 or Tactics. Will do that though, because they do deserve the respect. They are old classics, and they have a beautiful aesthetic to them. Fallout 76, I actually like a lot more than people think, but a lot of people do. I'll probably keep playing that. It's installed right now, so I'll probably keep playing that. 3 and New Vegas and 4 are amazing games. New Vegas is, again, one of my top 3. Fallout 3 probably would be like my 4th? Probably. I mean, the thing is, right? If you told me to make a top 5 of games of all time, it would probably be, if I would just be completely honest with myself, it would probably be Oblivion, Sly 2, Sly 3, New Vegas, Fallout 3, and then EU4 would be number 6. That's just complete honesty. And then like Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005 would be 7. Yeah, definitely. That would run on my top 7. We've got like heaps of games that I really love. World of Warcraft would be in there at some point, but whatever. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. Still gotta get. There's so many bloody games. Okay. Ooh, next up. Next up. We got. What do we got? Let me put this on again. Just see if it's working still. Oh, come on, you bastard. Work. Alright. Far Cry. Oh god. Far Cry 1, Far Cry 2, Far Cry 3, Far Cry Blood Dragon, Far Cry 4, Far Cry 5, Far Cry 6, Far Cry New Dawn. So Far Cry. Ooh, boy. Far Cry 1, I literally couldn't beat without console commands. Because I played that many years ago, and I couldn't beat it without console commands. I thought it was so hard. I thought it was one of the most difficult games I ever played. Far Cry 2 is the best Far Cry. Far Cry 3 is a good second. Far Cry Blood Dragon sucks, and a lot of people like it, but I didn't like it. I really disliked it, yes. Far Cry 4 is good, but I wouldn't say it's one of the best. I would say Far Cry 5 is probably the 3rd best. Far Cry 6 I haven't played, and Far Cry New Dawn I thought was really, really bad compared to Far Cry 5. Because, I mean, it's just the same map, smaller, and it looks a bit different. It's not as fun. I like Far Cry 5, but I didn't need Far Cry New Dawn. I think after playing Far Cry 5 for 35 hours, I think I had enough, Anyway, just to go back for a second, Fallout 3, New Vegas, and Fallout 4, especially New Vegas and 3, deserve so much love. And I mean, bloody hell, I played for hundreds and hundreds of hours on Xbox 360 when I was younger, man. Like, with friends, by myself, for ages, during summer holiday, winter holiday. They deserve respect. They're fantastic. And playing them on PC and modding them, it's just the best. Fear Extraction Point. Fear Perseus Mandate. Fear 2, Fear 3. Fear, I love. The 2 expansions, I've never played. Couldn't be bothered. I liked Fear 1 on its own. Fear 2 I haven't played, and 3 I haven't played either, but I don't hear very positive things about them. Then we have Final Fantasy 1, Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8, Final Fantasy 9, Final Fantasy 13, 13-2, 15, and 10, 10-2. God. Okay. Final Fantasy 1 and 2, never played. Final Fantasy 3, oh wait, I've never played any of these, except Final Fantasy 10-2 for some reason, and Final Fantasy 15, which I both like, but I haven't taken the time to play any of the other ones. So I'm not the best person to talk about these games because I just don't know enough. Flat out, 1 and 2, enjoyed them when I was a kid, haven't played them as an adult. The Forest, very fun to play with friends. I know the second one came out, Sons of the Forest or whatever it's called, but I only played the original and I did like it, but it's just fun playing with friends, not by yourself. The Forgotten City, very interesting, I haven't played it. Forza Horizon 4 and 5, I like both. I know a lot of people prefer 4, and I think I do as well, but 5 is almost the same game, so, you know, whatever. I like both of them. Freedom Fighters, haven't played, looks interesting. Frontline Fuels of War. It looks very interesting. It's like a mix of RTS and FPS. So, although I don't think it's like Mount and Blade, it does sound pretty cool. Fuel is, I mean, the only reason I have it installed is because I wanted to do a big, at some point when enough people are interested, I will do like a big road trip from one side of the map to the other and like answer questions people have, but we'll have to wait and see until people actually have questions to ask me. Ghost Recon Breakpoint, I really did like, I really did like, Breakpoint, Wildlands. I really did like Wildlands. So for me, kind of, it was a no-brainer to buy Breakpoint, and I'll probably really enjoy it too. I can't be honest. I like Wildlands. I do just have to say I played it with a friend, and we really enjoyed it. Gloomwood, again, I don't know much. It's from the same people who made Dusk and Medieval. God of War 1, 2, 3, Ascension, Chains of Olympus, and Ghost of Sparta. All better than the new God of Wars. Yes, you can unsubscribe if you want, but it's the truth. If you don't believe me, go and play them. Sorry, The Last of Us, I understand why people like it. Uncharted, I understand why people like it. The new God of Wars, I don't know why people like that over the originals. I don't get it. I just don't get it anyway. The original games, especially 1 and 2 in particular, were so good. It's absolutely mental that the people are talking like the new series is like the Jesus Christ, you know, like it's so mediocre. And I think Fleekazoid, he said it right when he called it God of Walk, because that's what it is. It's just a walking game where sometimes you get into a combat encounter and it's not even. I don't know, whatever. I'm just getting too heated about this now. It's not necessary, but it's, yeah, not my thing. The new ones, not my thing. I'm sorry. No, most of the stuff Sony has brought out, just like Horizon Zero Dawn, more like Horizon Zero Fun. The Godfather, I'm gonna get made fun of because I'm gonna be like, oh, The Godfather 2 that came out in 2009 is such a good game, and I do believe that. I genuinely think that. And then people are gonna be like, you don't like God of War, the new ones, but you like that. And I'm like, yeah, I really do like that. Anyway, golf with your friends, very fun, and then we always, me and my wife always go back and play that. It's a good time. Gothic 1, 2, and 3. Very cool. They're German games, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Very cool, very cool. GTA, obviously. GTA 3, 4, 5, San Andreas, and Vice City. Having played all of them, I would rank them, honestly. GTA 4, Vice City, San Andreas, 5, 3. 3 it's good, obviously. It's great, in fact, but it wasn't fully realized yet. And then Vice City is for me my second favorite because it was the first GTA game I ever played. San Andreas itself is just, I mean, it's iconic, it's fantastic. Great characters, great world. 5 is beautiful as well. It's great, but because it has the competition it has, the quality of the GTA games are so insane. And then Grand Theft Auto 4, would easily be in my top 15 of all time. So games of all time. So it's gonna be it's the way it's displayed, the world, the way it's depicted is beautiful, and I think it really does deserve a lot of love. GTA 4 does, and I think the fact that people are like, "Oh, GTA 5 is so much better," I don't think they've gone back and truly experienced 4. Maybe they do prefer 5, that's fine, but I think 4 is it's gotten a bit underrated. I think it's lost a bit of a lot of shine. 5 took a lot of shine away from 4, even though in many aspects it has a lot of better mechanics. 3, especially obviously the famous physics model. Gran Turismo 3 and 4, don't have much to say about Gran Turismo in general. Nothing negative or anything, but just don't have a lot to say because I'm not very familiar with the series. Greedfall looks very interesting. Open world RPG made by Spiders, who they're making a second one, I believe. Don't have a lot to say because I haven't played it. Grid 1, 2, and the new Grid. I really enjoyed Grid 1 on Xbox. I never played the other grids, but I'll probably enjoy them. Grim Dawn looks fantastically interesting. Fantastically interesting. A huge amount. It's an ARPG. The amount of like the trees, just the trees of ability trees, like they look so wild. And I think that it's something that it has mods and it's just crazy. But it's not something I have gotten into yet because of course not. I don't have the time to play all these fucking games. Ground Branch I got together with a 0 Hour because I wanted to really get into more milsim tactical shooters. I saw 6 Days of Fallujah and Ready or Not, and I was like, God, I gotta get into some of these games. Guilty Gear. Not games I've played, but a friend of mine told me to get them because he wanted to play them with me. Gujon 3, I think it's pronounced. Gujon, whatever. Looks very cool, but it's a Chinese game, so I don't know a lot about it, I gotta be honest. Hades, obviously, I copped because it was like, oh, it was the flavor of the month. But apparently it is really good, and I'm kind of waiting to play that when I get my Steam Deck. So because having a Steam Deck will make this so much easier because I travel so much back and forth between the Europe between my home and then my home here. It will be fantastic having a Steam Deck in the plane. Oh my god, I get so much done. Half-Life 1 and 2, Blue Shift, Opposing Force, never played any of them. Look very cool, interesting, obviously staples of the industry. Not gone into them yet, obviously not so much by choice, but mostly because of circumstance. What have we got now? We've got okay. Halo Master Chief Collection. I played all of them. Reach 1, 2, 3, 4, ODST with my wife. We loved them. They were very fun playing them together. Great time. Great time. Playing them single player though by myself, I don't know. I probably wouldn't enjoy them, but that's why it's really nice to have someone to play it with. It's really really good thing. Hard Reset. Got it for like I don't know, it was like 90 cents or whatever. Looked interesting enough. Don't know anything about it. I had in time. Probably is really gonna be a lot of fun. I hear a lot of good things about it. I had lots of friends rave about it. So Hatred. It's pretty funny. You probably have heard of it because it was so controversial, but maybe that's also the reason you might have not heard about it. Hatred is really weird. It's very like over the top, but at the same time, it's kind of, I don't know, cathartic fun. Because if you're healthy enough in the mind to understand that it's just a video game, it's kind of weirdly relaxing. Which I don't know if that's a good thing to say, but it's if you play it in first person, who am I kidding? It's a bad game, but it's there's worse games out there. It's not the worst thing in the world. You can finish it in like 3 hours, probably less than that to be honest. Hearts of Iron 3 and 4. I've not played Hearts of Iron 3, but 4 I have, and I played about 100 hours, and I still don't understand any of the mechanics. It's so much fun, but I wish I was good at it. I can't understand all these people that are like, oh, it's the easiest one. Well, easy to who? I don't understand what I'm doing half the time, but it is still a good time. Still a good time. Hell Let Loose. I heard some negative things about it in the recent update, but from what I've played, it really liked it. It's really fun. It's very it's like the opposite of like a battle bit. A battle bit is frantic and fast and hectic, and Hell Let Loose, you really have to be tactical and very slow paced comparison, because obviously it's realistic. It's not like a, it's, yeah, fun though. Hope they didn't, the new people that took over from the developers haven't ruined the game. Hellish Quart. Still waiting for it to be a bit more updated, but I've played that with my wife quite a bit, and it's good fun. Helltaker is an amazing little free game, which you can beat in like 2-3 hours if you're good enough at it. But yeah, it's a good amount of fun, and pretty funny story behind the game too, if you look into it. Nice art style. Heroes of Might and Magic 5. All of those games, man. It was the one I got a box set of it, a big box set of all three, when I was a kid, and I played it on PC for hours, man. Heroes of Might and Magic 5 I have such good memories of, because it was one of the only things that would run on the PC that I had at the time, like an old Windows Vista shitbox, like really bad, and but it worked and it was fun. So many good memories. Very much a game I have nostalgia for. I think Hitman is like the only series, but I can't even say that because it's not true. I was gonna say like it's the only series I've played every single game, but it's not true because I mean technically I've played every single game, but Hitman 2 and Contracts, Hitman 2, Silent Assassin and Contracts, I never finished because they wouldn't run properly. Probably could get them to run if I tried, but I played Codename 47, which worked for some reason, and then I just wanted to get to Blood Money because I love it so much. And then Absolution was like whatever, but it's still pretty okay. And then after Absolution, you obviously have Hitman 1, 2, and 3, which are fantastic games, and everyone should play them. The World of Assassination thing, I mean, the fucking the world design, the characters, the different kills, and all that is fucking. It's really ace. It's so good. Ace, not AIDS. It's fun. But Blood Bunny is the best. Hollow Knight, I haven't played, obviously. It's hyped up as like the hardest game of all time, whatever, harder than Dark Souls, whatever. I haven't played it, I haven't tried it, but it looks pretty cool. Homeworld, don't know anything about it, I'm not going to talk. Hotline Miami and Hotline Miami 2 are amazing. If you haven't played them, play them. I'm trying to get my wife to play them. She just can't. She tries and she gets really bad motion sickness. So I guess if you have motion sickness, probably not the best thing to play. But if you don't, give it a go. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's really fun. Very addictive games. Like it embodies the whole like one more go. Honey Pop 1 and 2, very fun match 3 games. Can't lie, they're very fun. And yeah, I beat both of them because they're just really fun. That's all I'm gonna say. I haven't mentioned Natunia. All 3 games I got gifted like years ago, and I've never played any of them because I don't really, whatever. But I haven't really, yeah, not really, don't really want to. Icewind Dale haven't played, again, similar to Planescape Torment and Baldur's Gate, but here it's quite good. It's more focused on the dungeon crawling aspect than more focused on the combat than the story. Il2 Sturmovik, 1946. Apparently very interesting game. Different, like 200 different planes, whatever the fuck. Wild, but haven't spent any time with it. Imperator Rome probably is really fun. I heard some good things, heard some bad things. No support from Paradox, but I think you get a good amount of fun out of it. Injustice and Injustice 2. I played Injustice Gods of Mars and it was a good time. I'm sure Injustice 2 will be even better, but I haven't gone around to it yet. Jade Empire, another game made by Obsidian, I believe. So it's always something to look into. Not made by Obsidian, sorry, made by BioWare. made by BioWare. Um, so yeah, it should be interesting. Whether they made it before they made Mass Effect, so could be pretty interesting. Jet Set Radio, a Sega game. Don't know anything about it, but I know it's something a bit of a cult classic. Just Cause. The first game is like a bit of a beta for the second game, like I said with Assassin's Creed. The second one is like, again, it's in my top 15 games of all time. I have so many hours in the second one, not just on Steam, but especially on Xbox. It was insane playing that with friends. 3 is fun and whatever, but it's not 2, and 4 I haven't played. But I'm sure they're fine. It's just they're not 2, and because I have such good memories of 2, it's kind of hard to replace. Kane Lynch, Dead Men, and Dog Days I haven't played, but they're very short games, so I should really give them a go. And they look fun enough. They're not good games or anything, but they look pretty interesting. Katamari Damacy, very very fun, and I'm happy they released a sequel onto Steam recently. But Katamari Damacy, if you don't know what it is, you're like this little guy who gets told by like this galactic entity that he has to like collect everything in the world, and then he has to, I don't know if that's even correct, but it's a very obscure, strange little concept, but very very fun and interesting and unique. Kenshi, an interesting RPG that I haven't spent any time on and I don't know anything about, so again, not going to talk about it. Kerbal Space Program, had this for many years, or known about it for many years, and I just never gotten into it. But I know people really love it, and then the second one really bombed. Um, Killer Instinct, another fighting game, which has like 1,000 achievements or something stupid like that. But something I should probably go and give a go because people do enjoy it a lot. And it seems to be pretty good. And the soundtrack, my wife listens to this day all the time. So the soundtrack must be pretty good. Killer is Dead was a bit of a disappointment, and especially compared to what's next to it, Killer 7, it's certainly not as good as Suda51's other games like Shadows of the Damned or Lollipop Chainsaw or Killer 7. Killing Floor 2, one of my wife's favorite games, and a very fun game to play multiplayer. King of Fighters 2002, 98, 13, 14. I hear many good things about King of Fighters, so I picked them up. They were very cheap. In fact, I got a couple of them for free. So you know what? Let's give them a go. They were very fun fighting games. So I played 15 at a friend's house, and then I was like, oh, this might be pretty fun to play all of them. Kingdom Come Deliverance looks like it's like perfectly up my alley, but it's something that I really need to take the time for, and I just haven't had the time. Again, with most of these things, story of my life. Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. It's World of Warcraft, but single player, and it's cool. There's a nice world, but again, it's World of Warcraft single player, and I couldn't. It suffered from releasing a month and a half after Skyrim, so no one ever bought it or knew ever anything about it or anything like that. If that had come out like 6 months before Skyrim, 3 months before Skyrim, it would have sold a lot better. But it came out after the behemoth that was Skyrim, and yeah, not gonna win against Skyrim. I mean, come on. Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, 3, Dream Drop Distance, and Birth by Sleep. It's Kingdom Hearts. I don't really have to explain that. It's fantastic. Look into it if you don't know what it is. Kingdom Hearts, some of my favorite games, especially 2. 2 definitely would be in my top 15 games of all time. 1 is a bit of a bitch, but I do like 1 as well. 2 is just. Ooh. Okay, we're good. King's Bounty, never played any of them. They're very long games. That's also the biggest reason I haven't played any of them. But I hear good things about all of them. Not King's Bounty 2, though. King's Bounty 2 is not so positively received, shall we say. Knights of the Temple Infernal Crusade. Really bizarre game that I had never heard about, but very cool looking, and I'm very interested to play it. Don't know anything really about it. L.A. Noire. L.A. Noire, fantastic game, underrated, and sadly we'll probably never see a sequel to. Imagine having like a game like L.A. Noire set in like New York, in that same time period, or like Miami in the same time period, like stuff like that. Like, oh my god, in that sort of style with the like being an investigator, oh my god, that'd be amazing with that production value. Fantastic. But LA Noire definitely deserves more credit. Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. Hold on. Excuse me. Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, very fun games, especially with friends. Legend of Grimrock 1 and 2, never played them. They're like dungeon crawling games. People like them a lot, never played them. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, never played it before. Not played it yet. Not played it yet, so can't say anything. The other 4, however, Majora's Mask, I've not played the 3D versions of either. I've only played the originals on N64 as a kid. Adore them. Adore them both, especially Majora's Mask. Wind Waker, I wasn't such a big fan of as a kid, and Twilight Princess, I consider it would be in my top 10 of all time. Twilight Princess is the best Legend of Zelda game, in my opinion. I think it's fantastic. And people will go, oh, it's because you were 8 years old and it's the one. But it's like, I played Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time before it. And although I loved them, when I played Twilight Princess, I was just like, this is fantastic. But then I played Skyward Sword and I was like, this is not as good. So, say what you will, but I think Twilight Princess is the best Legend of Zelda. And although I think Breath of the Wild looks cool and whatever, I don't know if it's going to be as good. I don't know. Legendary, we're not going to talk about because I'm doing a video on it. Batman Lego 1, 2, and 3, got that as a gift. Wasn't particularly interested in Batman or anything like that, but I do like Lego games, as you can see. Lego City Undercover, heard that was pretty good. It was cheap. Lego Worlds, same thing, although I played that and it was a bit disappointing. Harry Potter games, I played 1, 2, 4, but I never played the second one. So I'll definitely give that a go. Indiana Jones 1 and 2, I did not even know that there was a second one. But I did love the first one on the Wii when I was a kid. Obviously, Star Wars: The Complete Saga is the best one. I played that so many hours on PS2 when I was younger. And then I got the Skywalker Saga, which I haven't played yet because I'm trying to find some time with my wife so we can play it together. Leisure Suit Larry Magna Cum Laude. That was one game that I managed to acquire as a kid, which is like bizarre that my parents were able to. I was able to acquire it when like, and you can just shows how my parents just kind of didn't care what I played, which is pretty nice. Because it isn't really that crazy or anything, but it is. I wish I got a different game because it isn't a very good game, you know. But anyway. Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13. That's like, what, Final Fantasy 13 3? Yeah, again, don't know anything about Final Fantasy. The Long Dark, don't know anything about it, heard good things. Lords of the Fallen, the prequel to Lords of the Fallen, which will come out soon. Not Lords of the Fallen 2, mind you, Lords of the Fallen. Yeah, it's apparently just a Dark Souls, but incredibly easy. It's like Babby's first Dark Souls. City Interactive, of course, I'll play it at some point. Lost Planet 1 and 2 and 3. 3 I got for free. 1 and 2 I got for cheap recently. They are very, very cool games. I never knew about Lost Planet, and I looked into it, and I was like, this is really cool. This seems really fun, so definitely want to give that a go. Mafia, the original. Never played the original, but I played 1, 2, and 3, the definitive editions, and 2 I got when I turned 12. It came out in 2010. I turned 12 years old. Got it for my birthday. Played it and played it like 3 more times after that. 2 is definitely my favorite. I really love 1 and I really love 3, and I think 3 gets so much undeserved hate. Yeah, it's not as focused as 1 and 2, but it's still really good time. It's a really good time, and I think the characters are fun too. Maneater. Yeah, kind of a novelty game, but good fun if you're into it. Manhunt and Manhunt 2. I mean, they're pretty great Rockstar games, and it's just sad we'll never probably see anything like it anymore, but whatever. Still cool though. Mario Party 4, 5, and 6. They're my favorite Mario Parties because they're the only ones I ever played. You know, on GameCube I had all 3, and I really like them. And I don't have any nostalgia for any of the ones before or after. So those were the ones I played, and they're a good time. Mass Effect 2 and 1, 2. I don't own 3 on its own, and then Andromeda, and then the Legendary Edition. So I played 1. I did not really enjoy it. I played 2. I really loved it. I haven't played 3, and I haven't played Andromeda. I will at some point play the Legendary Edition, play through all 3, and then Andromeda and see what I think. But that'll be in the future. Max Payne 1, 2, and 3. I've never played Max Payne 1 and 2. Apart from the fact that I played 2 when I was really young on the PS2. I think it was a PS2. Yeah, it would have been. We were from a rental shop when I was really young. But I don't know. I was really a kid, you know. I was like really little. I don't know. Max Payne 3 though I really like. It's a bit underrated. A lot of people don't like because he's a bit depressing and whatnot. He's a bit depressing. But I do really like Max Payne 3. I gotta say. Very fun. I like the locations, Sao Paulo and stuff like that. It's very nice to see a game set in a place like that because it's not enough. Everything is set in bloody New York or LA or whatnot, so it's nice to see something set in a different place. Maximum Action looks interesting. Again, made by the same people who made Dusk and things like that, I believe. And but it's not finished yet, so I've just kind of had it sitting there. It's looks cool though. Medal of Honor Airborne is the only Medal of Honor game that's on Steam, but it's sadly you can beat it within like 4 hours, but it is really fun. It's a very fun little game. Wish it was more expansive, but that's what it is. Mega Man 11 Legacy Collection 1 and 2. I never played any of those Mega Man games in general. Just didn't grow up with them, and the reason I have those is because I got them for free. They came in a Humble Bundle. Someone else got, and they already had them, so they gave them to me. Melty Blood. I don't know anything about Melty Blood. I know it's pretty popular fighting games, but I again I got it for free. I think in a bundle at some point. Men of War, Assault Squad, and Assault Squad 2. I really like Men of War. Don't really like Assault Squad, and I've never played Assault Squad 2. Yes. Mercenaries 2 World in Flames. I've never played Mercenaries 1, but 2 World in Flames is bonkers and fantastic, and it's set in Venezuela, which, I mean, how many games are set in Venezuela, for God's sake? Great time. It's a great game. Like it a lot. Come on. Come on, yeah, bastard. There we go. I like it a lot. It's a very, very good fun game with destructible environments and things like that. Have a look into it. Again, the Mini-Me guy who I suggested earlier during when I was talking about Daily Dozen, he did a video about Mercenaries 2 as well, and Mercenaries 1 I think too. So yeah, check him out. Check him out. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, you know, obviously the famous game with an incredible soundtrack and incredible gameplay, and it's very good boss fights. It's a lot of fun. Sad there'll never be a second one, but it is what it is. Ground Zeroes and the Phantom Pain. I've never been the biggest fan of Metal Gear Solid, but I did really like it. I did like it. I am curious to play the originals when they finally release on Steam at the end of this year, and kind of go through them and see what I think. Because if I like them, I might play Phantom Pain again. And from a gameplay point of view, it was fun. But because I don't know any of the other story, it's so convoluted. It makes no sense to me. You know, I can't really properly appreciate it. Metal Wolf Chaos XD is like a game that was made by FromSoft before Dark Souls, and looks pretty crazy. Where you're like a mech in like you're like a wolf, you're a metal wolf mech inside of like the US, and you're like, I don't know, it's weird, but it looks pretty cool. The Metro games are very, very fun. Very fun. I've played Metro 2033 and Last Light. Not played the Redux versions though, and not played Exodus. But I do like both of them, and they're fantastic games. A nice 10-12 hour experience. Bit of couple scares here and there, but not really. They're more they're more shooters than they are horror games, but they do have a horror element to them. Played Shadow of Mordor, very fun, very fun. I have not played it as much as I would have liked, and I've never played Shadow of War, also because it's like 150 bloody gigs to install. But I hear good things. Midnight Club 2, I don't have any nostalgia for, but I will play it at some point because Midnight Club 3 is, apart from Need for Speed Most Wanted, 2005, Sad that I have to say that because 2012 exists, but Midnight Club 3 has to be my favorite racing game of all time. It's just great. It's so good. So good. And the fact that you have San Diego, Atlanta, Detroit, and Tokyo. It's just very, very cool. Very cool to see. Mini Metro is a fun little puzzle game. Very sorry, I've been talking for so long. Just straight talking. Not used to that, obviously. Mini Metro is a fun little puzzle game. There's a mini highways game, I believe, as well, but not played that. Mini Metro is very fun. It's a nice little game to put on some music in the background, maybe a podcast, just to tune out, enjoy yourself, like Bejeweled. Mirror and Mirror 2, Mirror 2 kind of bombed, didn't it? But also a bit undeserved. It doesn't really matter that much. People are like, oh, there's no NSFW, whatever. It's a bit silly, you know. It's about the gameplay, not about the whatever, you know. They're not about the source, right? And Mirror 1 is fantastic. Anyway, Mirror's Edge and Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I love Mirror's Edge. Never played Catalyst, but it was like $5. Picked it up. We got one of the motocross games, and the MotoGP games you see there as well. I just picked those up because they were like a few bucks, and I was like, you know what? I really like the Formula One games. Let me just try these different types of games. That's why I picked up like 5 of the WRX games. WRX? WRC, yeah. The World Rally Championship games. Because they're cheap. And I thought, well, why not? Let me just check them out, see what they're like, and see if I enjoy them. Monster Hunter Rise, I actually got for free in a bundle at some point. Monster Hunter World, I'm curious to play because I really liked Monster Hunter, is it 3 Ultimate on a DS? Is it 4 Ultimate or 3 Ultimate? Oh god, I can't remember now. And I played one of them on the PSP. Oh, I don't know what it's called. It doesn't matter. I always did like Monster Hunter, but I've not played World yet. Monster Sanctuary looks very interesting. My friend got it for me. He's like, you should check this out. This looks fun. For people who enjoyed Pokemon and Digimon, this looks kind of up my alley. It looks fun. Mortal Kombat 9, 10, and 11. I already talked about this. I only played 10. I really liked it. And I also played 9 at some point, but never on PC. Never played 11 though. Again, 11 is like, I don't know, fucking like, what, 100 and whatever gigs to install. 150 gigs or something stupid like that. Mortal Shell is another Souls-like. But it's not very polished. It's like Lords of the Fallen, where it's like not polished. It's a bit rushed out of the gate. It doesn't have as much, you know, to it, but still interesting. Mount and Blade obviously is a legendary series, and I'm probably not the right person to talk about it because I've only ever played Mount and Blade, never Warband or Bannerlord, and Warband I think I would really like, especially modding it. Mount and Blade 1 I thought was fantastic, so I think I enjoy it a lot. Mud Runner is a like spin tires. If you know that game, you'll see that as well. And Snow Runner, where you're just like you're driving these big trucks and vehicles through mud, and you have to deliver things to different points and whatever. And you have to, and it's like you get stuck, and you have to like it's super like realistic like mud simulation and whatever. It's pretty wild. It has a bit of a cult community. It's very cool. MX versus ATV All Out and Reflex. Also MX GP3. Don't know anything about those games. Just they were like $1, and I thought, you know what? Then might as well just try them. This is the problem I have. Anyway, My Friend Pedro is a very fun little game. It's very hard, but it's a fun little game. Blood, Bullets, Bananas. It's yeah. I'm not gonna talk about it too much. Just check it out. It's a fun little game. Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 1, 2, 3, 4, Revolution. So those games were all bought by my friend who really likes Naruto, and he was like, "Oh, you should try Naruto. It's really great." But I don't know anything about it. I watched Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, and Pokemon. I didn't know anything about Naruto. I still don't. But yeah, I should play it at some point. I do hear that they're quite fun games. Another one that I bought on a whim because it was like $3 or whatever. NASCAR Heat 5 Ultimate. I don't know anything about NASCAR. I don't know anything about NASCAR. So, but I thought, you know what, I do enjoy all these kinds of games, and I thought, you know, I enjoy Formula One, so I'll probably enjoy NASCAR too, right? Yeah. Necrovision is like this bizarre game where you're a vampire or vampire hunter in World War One. It's bizarre, but it's pretty cool. I might do a video on it at some point because it is pretty interesting. Oh god. Oh my god. We've been doing this for almost 2 hours, for God's sake. Alright. Need for Speed 2015, Need for Speed Carbon, Need for Speed Heat, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, Need for Speed Most Wanted, Need for Speed Underground, Need for Speed Underground 2. Never played the Underground games. Alright, my first Need for Speed was Most Wanted, and Most Wanted remains my favorite. Carbon is also pretty fantastic, but I always thought it was really difficult for some reason. I think it was the canyon races. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit is really fun, really good Need for Speed game. Need for Speed 2015 is not as bad as people say, but it's not great. And I really didn't enjoy the world and the racing and the cars and whatever's fine, but the story. Oh my god, the story is enough to give you an aneurysm. Nerim, again, like Enderall, is a mod of the Elder Scrolls series, but it's like standalone and it's big and huge and fun. Neon Abyss, I haven't played, but it's like a roguelike, like Binding of Isaac, that sort of vein. And then Nuclear Throne, which we'll see down there. Neon White, I won't talk about because I really love it and I'm playing it at the moment, just like Disco Elysium. Fantastic music, oh my goodness, and I love the art style. Neverwinter Nights, I won't talk about, again, not played, just like Baldur's Gate, etc., etc. Nier Automata, I haven't played. I bought it because my wife played it and she thought it was way too difficult. So I was like, oh, well, let me play it. I want to see what it's like. I haven't gotten around to that. Ninja Gaiden 1, 2, and 3, I got it because I never played Ninja Gaiden because I wasn't able to find a copy of Ninja Gaiden Black when I was young. And I was interested, so I thought, you know what, I'll pick them up, play them, see what they're like. I haven't gotten around to it either. Nioh 1 and 2. Now, Nioh 1 and 2, awesome. I will go and probably say Nioh 1 is better than Nioh 2. And a lot of people are like, what the hell? That's crazy, blah, blah, blah. No, I think Nioh 1 is better in a couple of ways. I won't get into it too much, but although I enjoyed both, and Nioh 1 certainly was harder than Nioh 2, I thought Nioh 1 was more fun. I had way more of a feeling of, I want to keep going, I want to keep trying, I want to beat this game, blah, 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 than I did in Nioh 2. In Nioh 2, I kind of, by the end, I kind of got like, I was like, okay, now I kind of want this be over. And it's like, whereas Nioh 1, I was very engaged I think it had to do with the fact that you play a character in Nioh 1 and then in Nioh 2 you make your own. I don't know if that's... I really liked having a character to play as in Nioh 1. So when you made your own in Nioh 2, it was fine, and I did like the story. And there were certain things that would stand out about Nioh 2 which were way better than Nioh 1. But I think they were both very competitive in terms of the level of quality they have. And they were very fun games, and I spent many hours in them. And they're very good. No More Heroes 1 and 2. I only recently copped them. I never played them on Wii, even though I always wanted to. I saw a new No More Heroes 3 came out and got good reviews, so I thought, you know what, I'm finally going to give them a go. Recently picked them on the Steam sale. So I did with Okami, which was something that always escaped my grasp on GameCube when I was a kid. Always had an interest in it though. Noida is a bit of an interesting one. I don't think it's as good as a lot of people find it. It's not as fun as something like a Binding of Isaac or even a Nuclear Throne over there. It's fine, but it's a bit... whatever. Onimusha 3, I don't know anything about. I got it for free, I think, or as a gift at some point, and I have no clue what it's like. The Outer Worlds, I did play for a while bit because of people who made it, and then I kind of lost interest because I was like, well, it's a pale imitation of their previous work, Obsidian's previous work. Oh goodness. We are almost 2 hours in. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Whew, alright. making our way through. We're on P now, pushing P. Outlast and Outlast 2. As a bit of a scaredy cat, I never played them. But Outlast 1 is actually the reason that my wife and I met. Probably tell that story at some point, but not now. But that's how we met, which is just bizarre. But yeah. Painkiller and Painkiller Hell and Damnation are Painkiller games, and they're made by People Can Fly, and they're meant to be good, but I have no idea because I haven't played them. They're similar to Serious Sam, games like that. Paradise Killer originally was released on the Wii U, I think, or the Switch, and is kind of like Danganronpa, sort of. It looks like the aesthetic is very similar to Neon White, and it's very interesting, but I haven't had the time to sit down and play it yet. My wife said she enjoyed it when she played it, so it'll probably be very interesting. Party Hard, I really did like. Very fun little, almost like a puzzle game, but where you got this guy and you go and you have to kill everyone in this like club or party or whatever. But you can't. It's similar to like, it's a mix between, it's like a puzzle game, but it's like also like Hotline Miami a little bit. But like you can't be seen because then like the police show up and I don't know. It's cool. I like it. Pathfinder, Kingmaker, and Wrath of the Righteous, very cool games. Haven't had the time. Same for Pillars of Eternity. Yeah, that's simple as that. Pathologic 2, man, I would love to play, but again, it needs a serious time commitment, like so many of these games, and I just don't have the time. But I would really like to play it because it is. I've watched there's a guy called Ragnarox who made a nice video about Pathologic 2. There's an obviously Mandalore made videos about both. Go and watch them, check them out. They're very cool. Videos worth those. The people who made that made those games, Ice Pick Lodge, really deserve a lot more love, and deserve sales. So go check them out. Payday 2. I mean, if you know anything about Payday, I don't know how people can play it over and over and over. And I played it for a couple of hours with my friends, but then it's also like, yeah, that's kind of it. I don't know how people can have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours in it though. It's like Counter-Strike and stuff. Freaking bizarre. I want a bit of variety, you know. Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright. I got it for free in a bundle. I've never played them. Always heard good things about Ace Attorney. I really like the Professor Layton games, but obviously it's not the same. But it's similar. And I'll probably enjoy it. Blainscape Torment, talked about that. Post Void is a bit of a weird one. Got that for free in a bundle. That's why I have so many games, is get a lot of them for free. Post Void is like this bizarre game, similar to like Cruelty Squad, where it's a bit headache inducing, almost like a what's it called, like an acid trip. That's what I'm trying to think. Trying to say. Portal 1 and 2. Obviously, Portal is regarded as some of the greatest games of all time. I've never played Portal 2, and Portal 1 I do like, but I need to play with someone, I think. I never really took the time and properly sat down and played it. Plebby Quest Crusades is very cool, a little interesting game. I haven't given it enough time, though. I'm getting like tired now. Well, not tired, but like a bit out of it. But we're gonna keep going. Come on. We're well over halfway. No point in stopping now. Planet Coaster is like a roller coaster tycoon, but it's made by different people. And there's also Planet Zoo, and that's also very cool. But it's not the same thing. And they're like park building games. That's what it's like. But like City Skylines, it requires a lot of RAM because there's a crazy amount of mods for it, and it's very like open plan. You can very much do your own thing, which is very good. They are very well regarded games. Postal 2, 3, 4, and Brain Damaged. If you don't know about Postal, go and check out Totally Pointless TV. His video. He did a beautiful video about every single Postal game. Uh, and those videos are great. Definitely go and check that out. Um, that would be better than me talking about Postal because I've only ever played the second one. Prey, that's the remake, not the original from 2006. It looks very cool. Probably the last good thing Arcane made, right? But I've not played it. Looks cool though. Nice interactive sim, from what I hear. The Prince of Persia remake, and then Sands of Time, Warrior Within, and Two Thrones. Never played any of the Prince of Persia games when I was younger, so I don't have any nostalgia for it. So it's very much, if I played them, very much a new thing to me. Very much blind. I'm going in blind. Prison Architect, very fun. Very fun little game. Been around for almost a decade now, if not a decade. Very fun little game. Very interesting. Really deserves the attention. Has a lot of nice detail. I'm starting to not be able to fucking make proper sentences. I've had the last couple of days, I've had a bit of a constant headache, and I've just been trying to do lots of stuff. I was exercising, I was outside in the sun, I went and I had a long sleep, had a short sleep, but nothing. Just I think it's just been stress, to be honest with you. Anyway, Project Cars 1 and 2, they were removed from Steam for God's sake, for the shitty third one. But they're like quite well regarded car racing games. By the same people who I believe made Drive Club, which is still to this day a very iconic game that is kind of forgotten in a way, because of the way that it was never followed up on, and it was too much too soon for a lot of people. But then obviously when it came out, it kind of failed because on the multiplayer, the whole aspect was like pushing the multiplayer, and then it didn't deliver on it straight away, and then it was like disappointing, and then a lot of people stopped playing it. And then, anyway, I shouldn't be talking about games I don't even own or aren't even available to play anymore. Project Zomboid, I heard apparently it's getting a big map update, big map upgrade to make it even like half the size of the map is going to be added on, which is going to be pretty wild. Very, very cool game, and it made incredible strides from what it used to be. Prototype, fucking awesome game. No, the second one is nowhere near as good. But the first one, man, it's just chaos simulator, man. It has so much edge. It's such an edgy game, as you can see from the picture. But it's very cool, and you should definitely give it a go. If you don't know what it is, just go in blind. It's very much like if you know Infamous, it's like that, but I think personally a little bit better. Psychonauts, very cool concept of like you're like this guy or this kid who goes into like a school camp, summer camp for psychics. I'm not gonna say anything more if you don't know anything about it. Look into it; it's very cool. Quake is a series I've never played, just like the original Doom games, and that's the new, or not the new one, but the like they remade it with ray tracing and stuff and high res textures and whatnot. So definitely got to give that a go. Red Dead Redemption 2, I have not gotten and been able to start playing it, which is sad because I really want to. Because I mean, obviously it's Red Dead Redemption 2. The original I played on Xbox many times and I loved, so I'm sure I'll love that one too. Red Faction Guerrilla. Why did I say it weird like that? Guerrilla is a fun as fuck game. Like it's so good, so much fun. And it was one of the first games that had a proper destruction engine where you could have proper destruction. You can blow up bridges, you can blow up entire buildings and they collapse. It's really good. Okay. What next? We have. Oh boy. What's next? Okay. We have Remnant from the Ashes. I'm actually going to readjust my headset. Hold on. Okay, very good. Remnant from the Ashes. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, okay. We're good. Oh, God. Remnant from the Ashes. A game that I've been. The second one's coming out in 2 weeks, I think. And it's very interesting. It's like a Souls-like, but it's with guns, and apparently it's really good to play with friends. And we have Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7. I don't own 8, but that's fine. 0 I played, I don't know, I didn't really like it. 1 I've never played, 2 I've never played, 3 I've never played, 4 I have played, and I was too scared to play it because I was a kid. 5 I've never played, 6 I've never played, and 7 I have never played. My wife has played almost all of them. She loves them and she wants me to play them, but I just haven't had the time, just like with so many things. Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Fantastic game. Played that many times as a kid. Played it again on Steam. It's a very fun shooter. One of the best Wolfensteins. Which is great. Just great game. Simple as that. Great game. Revolt, a bit of a nostalgic classic from the early 2000s, I think. Not the late 90s. I think it's from the early 2000s. Where you control like a little RC car, and you have all these different cars you can unlock, and you go through all these different stages, and it's a good time. Nostalgic classic. Ride 2 and 3. Ride 5 is coming out, I think. They're again games I picked up for very cheap. Have good. They have a lot of dedicated fan base, and look pretty interesting. So I'll have to give them a go. Rise of Nations, another strategy game which a lot of people like. Picked up for cheap. Could be pretty interesting. Very interesting concept. Rise of the Tomb Raider. Yeah, the Tomb Raider remakes. I don't know. I played Tomb Raider, the remake, the 2013 one. I finished it, but again, it felt like playing Uncharted. I just didn't. I was like, yeah, this is cool, but it's like nothing really spectacular, nothing really over the top interesting or whatnot. I liked it more than Uncharted, but still. Risen 1, 2, and 3. Funny thing, Risen 1 is actually banned in Australia. It was banned in Australia. It was never unbanned because apparently it contains like drugs or whatever, and then 2 and 3 don't. It contains something that the Australian government calls it like banned it for, which is weird. Hold on Miami 2 as well is banned in Australia. Obviously Hatred is. There's plenty of other games too. Australia loves banning stuff. I mean, they banned a bloody RimWorld for a while in the beginning of this year, and then unbanned it a month later or whatever. Rising Storm Vietnam and Rising Storm Red Orchestra Heroes of Stalingrad, a fantastic game. Sad that they were kind of abandoned. Played many of hours of Red Orchestra with my wife when we first met. Very fun. Rogue Warrior is another game I won't talk about because it's a game I'm doing a video on. So, Roller Coaster Tycoon 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Never played 1, never played 2, but 3 I've always loved. 1 and 2 I hear many good things, and I try to get them to work, but they work, but they're a bit hard to get into if you're not used to playing them. And 3 is still very easy to play, and it's a lot more you know, user friendly, let's just say, if you're a bit if you're not used to playing the originals. But they all still work, and they all still are good fun. Rome Total War. Rome Total War. My first Total War game when I was very young. One of my first PC games. Fantastic game, and one of the best Total Wars. Super good. Super good. Very hard game though. I went back and played it, and as an adult, and I thought, wow, I don't know how I was able to do this so easily as a kid. Running with rifles is a very fun little game. Interesting concept where you're not like the hero or whatever. You're just a random soldier in an army, and you're properly. It's really cool. Check it out. a bit hard to describe. 1 second. My apologies. My phone was almost about to die, so I had to plug it into the charger. All right, all right. Now, Rise, Son of Rome. I don't know. Rise, Son of Rome is like it was a Xbox One launch title back in the day. Back in what 2014, I think. It's more like a proof of concept game, like an engine, like a technical, like look what we can do with the graphics, look what we can do with the engine. But it is fun enough. It's a bit of a novelty, but it's all right. Sacred Gold and Sacred Gold 2. Very, I guess Sacred 2 Gold. Haven't played them. Haven't played them. I gotta be honest. Haven't played them. I heard good things, but I haven't played them. Saints Row 2, 3, and 4. I've played Saints Row 1, loved it. Played Saints Row 2, and it's one of my favorite of all time. Again, one of those top 15. Sits along GTA 4 as the best in its series for me. The third is also fantastic, a very good game, and only by a few measures not as good as 2 for me. Saints Row 4, I didn't like. I thought it was a bit derivative of 3 and 2 and what the other games had done, and I thought they really are running out of ideas, especially with some of the strange design decisions they made. But the biggest thing was the new Saints Row, which was just, embarrassing doesn't begin to cut it. It was horrific. Just tears apart the legacy of the Saints Row series, but whatnot. But whatever. They should have just. The only reason that the game was even released as a Saints Row game was because that's how they would have cashed in on it, right? But it shouldn't have had the Saints Row name. Sam & Max, Sam & Max games, I was told by a friend are very good, but I have not played them and I don't know anything about them. They should be pretty good. Satisfactory looks very cool. I'm keen to get into it. I recently saw this game. I thought, wow, it looks like Factorio, but 3D, and it looks wild and wacky, and I think it would be a good time. Scarface: The World Is Yours is so cool. It is so cool. It's from back in the day, 2006. And it's one of the better GTA clones ever made. It's a very cool game. It has a good system of taking back the city after the end of the movie, and it takes place in an alternative timeline where Tony doesn't die, but he manages to escape. So, if that sounds interesting to you, check it out. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. Definitely my least favorite of the Souls series, but that's because it's so different from things like Bloodborne, Elden Ring, and the Dark Souls games. Not in a bad way, just different, and it's my least favorite of those games. But on its own, it mugs so many other games. It's still very good. And definitely was the hardest for me because it was so different. Serious Sam 2, 3, and 4, and Serious Sam 1 HD, and Siberian Mayhem. I have not played any of them. I've owned those games for so many years, and I've never gone and started any of them. Just haven't had the time again. Shenmue 1 and 2 is Shenmue, and I don't have any nostalgia for it, so I find it hard to play it. Especially with all the other stuff I have. Again, got it for free, so Shadow of the Tomb Raider, same thing I told you about. Shadow Warrior 1 and 2, those games look pretty fun. They look pretty interesting. Shadow Man Remastered is an old classic, which I got for free again, and I haven't taken the time to play that. Crimes and Punishments, Sherlock Holmes and the Devil's Daughter. Yeah, probably would be interesting to play. I do like the Sherlock Holmes games. I like the Sherlock Holmes or the Sherlock series, the TV show. So yeah, I probably would enjoy them. Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight is a bit of a famous game. Probably would enjoy it. Again, it's like something like I'm waiting, like Hades. It'd be perfect for a Steam Deck, no? Perfect game for a Steam Deck. Okay, we have Civ 3, Civ 4, Beyond the Sword, Colonization, Warlords, 5 and 6, and Pirates. Pirates never played. 3 never played. 6 fun, but lacking a couple of things. 5 probably my favorite, and 4 was my first. But all of the games that I have played, I love. I like all of them. Even 6, I do love. They're very fun, and especially to play them with your friends or your partner, it's a very good amount of fun. Silent Hill 1, 2, 3, 4, The Room. 4, The Room, yes. Downpour, Homecoming, Origins. I have never played any of the Silent Hill games because I just wasn't able to play them as a kid, and of course, as soon as Silent Hill really, as soon as I got older, Silent Hill became less, I mean, Downpour. The only one that I could have conceivably played would have been Homecoming, which I think did come off the Xbox, and Origins, but I never picked up either of them because I never found them. Shadow Memories I could have played, but I never found that either. And Downpour I couldn't have played because I never owned a PS3. The original 4 games I never even saw, and they're all awesome. I know so much about the series now, of course, but I will go back and play all of them at some point because they deserve it. They deserve that level of respect from someone who calls themselves a gamer, or I don't call myself that, but I could be considered that for certain. SimCity 4 is damn legendary. I used to play that so much as a kid. One of the first games I bought on Steam many years ago. Yeah, it's just a great city builder, and what EA did with SimCity after that is pretty terrible. Singularities, I'm not going to talk about that. It's going to be a game I'm going to do a video on. Sins of a Solar Empire, talk about that. Cyrillim Unlimited. Ultimate. Very cool game. Reminds me of like a mix between like Monster Sanctuary, Digimon, stuff like that. I probably will really enjoy playing that. But again, that looks like something I'm going to be doing on a Steam Deck. Sleeping Dogs. Sleeping Dogs is incredible and one of the best open world games ever made, I think. And definitely competes with GTA and Saints Row for that title. Yes, it has a lot of flaws, sure, but I can't honestly think of them off the top of my head. But I think it's sad that we'll probably never get a second one. But it really deserves it. I think Sleeping Dogs, if you haven't played it, go give it a go. Especially if you enjoy Saints Row and GTA. Play Sleeping Dogs, man. It deserves it. Sly Raccoon 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm not going to even talk about it because I could talk about it for ages. It is the best series ever made, in my opinion. Just flat out best franchise ever. Sly 2, Sly 3, specifically, are insane. They are so good. Sly 1 was the very first game I ever played in my entire life. Like, you hear about people playing Crash Bandicoot for the first time as their first game. Well, Sly 1 was my first. And what I really loved about 2 and 3 specifically is that you could always play them in Dutch. Like, they would have Dutch voiceovers, and it would be so nice for someone who's from the Netherlands to have a game that you could actually play in your own language. I have a special place in my heart. If you've never played them, figure out a way to do it because it is awesome. And if you're in Sony or you're ever going to work for Sony, pester them to release it. For God's sake, please. Anyway, Sniper Elite 2, Sniper Elite 3 and 4. Never played 2, as you can see. I got it just recently for a couple of bucks. 3 is good. It's good, but I think the African location kind of lets it down. 4 is much, much better. I think 4 is probably the best, and 5 I haven't played. Very fun games, though. Sniper Ghost Warrior 2 is, well, 1 is horrific, is so bad. 2 is kind of whatever. And 3 is actually good. Kind of. It's okay. It's fun, you know, it's what it is, but it isn't bad. So yeah, I would say 3 is okay. It deserves a little bit of respect, you know, and the Contracts game seems to be doing okay, so you know what, whatever. Sonic, don't really have much to say about Sonic because I just never, not nostalgic for them. Never played any of the games. As a kid, I mean, I played Sonic 06. It was one of the games I rented when I was young. I regretted that for certain. And I never was. I'm not old enough to have experienced the older Sonics. Soul Calibur. I don't know why Soul Calibur 2 isn't there, but Soul Calibur 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only ever played 2, 4, and 6, and I liked Soul Calibur, especially 4. I did really like. I think 4 was very, very nice. Played at a friend's house many hours. Space Rangers HD: A War Apart. A very interesting Russian game, I think. Check out Manlow's video for more information because I've not played it yet. Spec Ops: The Line, a fantastic shooter which doesn't get enough recognition. Sadly, there's never been a sequel or anything like that, but it's a very dark. You think, oh, it's just going to be a generic American shooty bang bang, you know, foreign country, whatever. No, it's not like that at all. It's a very dark, serious story which should be experienced. Belforce, don't know what the fuck anything about that, but it looks interesting and it was cheap. So, Spin Tires, again, like Mudrunner and SnowRunner, the precursor to that. Good fun, good fun. Split Second, somehow released by Disney, or published by Disney. Very crazy, over the top racing games with wild set pieces and deserves a lot of love. SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, the remake. Never played the original, so I don't have any nostalgia for it, but it looks cool. The Spyro trilogy reignited. I've never played any of the original Spyro games. I played Enter the Dragon, which people seem to hate or something. People seem to dislike. And then there was like an emo Spyro, which I understand why people dislike. I certainly did dislike it. SSX, I only ever played Tricky and never played the other ones, but I have good memories. I'm willing to play the other ones. Stalker. I'm getting real tired now of talking. But no, I said I would commit to this. Let's keep going. Okay. Stalker. Call of Pripyat. Clear Sky. Shadow of Chernobyl. Only ever played Shadow of Chernobyl. Loved it. Very fun game. Not had the time to play Call of Pripyat or Clear Sky. The Stanley Parable you've probably heard of because you've seen it on YouTube or whatever. It's very fun. If you don't know what it is, play it without knowing anything or just watch an entire playthrough. It is very fun and very, well, best experience without knowing anything about it. Battlefront. We're not going to talk about the new ones because obviously we're going to talk about the old ones, and the old ones were amazing. The first and second one especially the second one, played for many hours on PS2. They are fantastic games. They are fantastic Star Wars games, and they are fantastic games in general, and should be enjoyed by everyone. Empire at War is a strategy game in the vein of, well, it's an RTS, but it's a Star Wars themed one, and many people love it, and I haven't had the time to put into it yet. Now, Fallen Order was disappointing. I finished it. My wife really liked it. I did not really like it. She was like, it's like Dark Souls. So I was like, oh, really? And then I played it and I was like, this is not like Dark Souls. Yeah, it was fine. But yeah, it was, a big budget EA. This is kind of naff. I liked the older Unleashed, Star Wars Force Unleashed games, but, who am I, right? Jedi Knight, both games, very legendary games. I haven't played them yet. I have played Knights of the Old Republic, though, and I love it. But I'm not talking about Star Wars a lot because I don't, although I love the movies, all of them, I don't know too much about the lore or whatever behind Star Wars, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. Star Wars Republic Commando is an interesting, kind of weird, dark twist. It's a bit dark, like surprisingly dark, but also then kind of funny in a way. And yeah, it's a bit of an interesting FPS set in squad FPS set in the Star Wars world universe. Starbound. I remember when it came out, it was like a Terraria clone, but it kind of eked out its own existence. Eked? Etched out its own existence. I don't know why I said eked. That can't be right, surely. It etched out its own existence and then, has its own fan base. So does Stardew Valley, but it's a game that requires dozens and dozens and dozens of hours of commitment, and it's something that I'd rather play on a Steam Deck. I think that would work well. State of Decay is fantastic, and State of Decay does not get enough recognition. I've not played the second one, but I am keen to. Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, I have not gone into that, or neither have I done any of the Street Fighter games or Street Fighter X Tekken. Then we have Street Legal Racing Red Line and Street Racing Syndicate, two bizarre mid-2000s racing games, which both have their own unique things about them. But yeah, definitely should be checked out. They are pretty fun games. Pretty fun. Styx, Shards of Darkness, and Master of Shadows I've never played, but I hear good things. Certainly would be something in my alley. They are similar to Thief in a way. Yes. I can tell I'm starting to get tired of this. No, I always love talking about games. It's just that it's hard to do. Like if there would be people commenting, if people were talking to me, this wouldn't be so hard because I could be answering questions, whatnot. But because I have to just kind of remember every single game and kind of be like, okay, well, this game, I have these memories of this game and this. Subnautica, I have no idea. I just see that it kind of, I have a bit of a fear of being like, I'm not a fear of water, but a fear of like this, the like whatever's under the ocean, whatever's like dwelling in the ocean is kind of terrifying. So I think those games will be proper horror games for me. I haven't given them a go yet. The Suffering, fantastic. The second one was a bit disappointing, but the first one is a bloody good psychological horror game. Not very scary, but it does the job, and it's a fun game. I played with my wife together. We played it, and yeah, it's really good. It's mid 2000s romp, as they say. Sunset Overdrive, Xbox One launch title, I believe. Heard good things. Copped it for a couple bucks. Haven't played it. It's heard good things. Copped it for a couple bucks. Haven't played it. Is half of my library. Super Mario 64, incredible stuff. I played it. It was my first Mario game. Obviously, I played it on the N64. It was awesome. Amazing. Finished it many times. Same for Sunshine. Love Sunshine. And then Galaxy came out, and I was kind of disappointed with Galaxy. And I don't think ever a game, even Odyssey, didn't come close to Sunshine. I think I've got to be honest. Super Meat Boy, fun, but kind of, it was one of those games that was hard to the point of not being fun for me. I thought it was way harder than something like Cuphead or Binding of Isaac, way harder, and I never finished it because of that. Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania is like a remake of 1 and 2, I think. The good Monkey Ball games. I'll definitely have to give that a go because I loved Monkey Ball games as a kid. The only Super Smash Bros. Games I ever played was Brawl and Melee, and yeah, I will play those again because they were a very good time. Not into it as crazily as some people, obviously, but I mean, some people are, the only thing they do is Smash Bros. Just not. I mean, I never had a Switch, so I never played Ultimate or anything like that. And also my friends weren't very much into the games, so I never really played them competitively or anything like that. All right. Okay. All right. Next up. Supreme Commander, Forge Alliance, and Supreme Commander 2. Probably games I'd like because, again, similar to things like Command and Conquer. Probably would enjoy it. Just haven't gotten around to it. Probably owned them since like 2014. One of the first games I ever owned on Steam. Some of the first games. The Surge and the Surge 2. Surge 2 I haven't played, but the Surge 1 I really liked. It was much more difficult in a way. Like, sometimes the difficulty was artificial, but I did like it. It was very different. It was a different spin on the usual Souls-like. Surviving Mars I haven't played. Neither have I played Tales of Symphonia or Tales of Berseria or System Shock 2. Obviously all very different games, but I'm just not going to say anything because I haven't played them. Tales of Maj'Eyal or whatever. It's also like a crazy. It has like 8,000 achievements or whatever, and it's like 4,000 achievements, and it's a bit of a cult game, bit of a cult classic. People love it. They seem to. And I will have to play it at some point. But again, that looks like a game that's going to be a lot of fun playing on a Steam Deck. Tannenberg and Verdun are two World War One kind of FPS games, and they're very fun to play online, but they're much more fun to play with bots, to be honest. Very nice game to play with my partner, and just kind of just have a good time. Teardown. Oh, Teardown. Oh, God. Teardown. Fuck, I need to drink some water or something. It's getting hot in here now. You can see the sun. Alright. Teardown is like this voxel game, like a voxel heist game. Has crazy amount of mods, a lot of user-created content, which is very nice. A lot of detail, some crazy nice maps, awesome physics. I mean, and the fact that it's still in early access. Oh, I don't think so, actually. I think it released. I think it released. That's why I got it. Yeah, I think it's no longer in early access. I think, but it's still being worked on regularly, I believe. A lot of content, and if you enjoy that sort of thing, it's very cool that it's like heists. I think that's pretty cool, interesting idea. Tekken 4, 5, 6, and 7. When I was a kid, I played Tekken 4 and 5. I never played 6, and then 7 I did play, and I really do like the Tekken games. But I like most fighting games in general. But I don't really have anyone to play them with, sadly. So not really. My wife, if I ask her to play any game, she'll do it. But it's not really her thing, which is fair enough. Another game I've asked her to play many times is Terraria, but I don't have anyone to play it with, sadly. She doesn't like games like Minecraft and Terraria, which is fair enough. Terraria is great, and I would love if you ever watch this video and you're like, hey, I need someone to play Terraria with on Minecraft, please hit me up. That'd be sick. That'd be really cool. Test Drive Unlimited 1 and 2, some of the best racing games ever, dude. Oh my god, especially 2, having like Hawaii and Ibiza, full size, recreated, with all the different cars, and if you mod it, and all the hundreds of extra cars that are added, and the houses that you can buy, and like just the amount of hours I played that multiplayer with my friends. Holy fuck, man! Like, bloody Test Drive Unlimited 2 on Xbox 360 with my friends, coming home from school playing that. Oh my god, amazing stuff. Amazing. Like, it was so much fun. The Hunter, Call of the Wild, crazy, like, very expansive hunting game, which like a lot of detail and stuff like that. I haven't gotten into it, but it's a quite a big game. There's a lot to it. I hear good things, and yeah, I hear a lot of good things apparently. But I do, there's a lot of games I hear good things about, and I buy them, but I never get around to playing them. The Thief remake, oh my god, it was bad. Thief Gold and Deadly Shadows in the Middle Age I always liked, and the remake was so bad. I bought it full price on release, for Xbox 360, and it was so bad, man. Oh my god, like just terrible. It was trying to be Dishonored so bad, and it just wasn't. It just wasn't. This War of Mine, my wife really likes it. I haven't really played it. I played a little bit, but I wasn't very good at it, to be honest. Timberborn looks fun, pretty cute, very fun. Nice like city builder, but you play as beavers, right? Timesplitters 2 and Future Perfect. I never really liked Timesplitters 1. 2 and Future Perfect, though. Fantastic. Hopefully they, for one time, get a proper port. Titan Quest, another ARPG, which isn't as good as like a Grim Dawn or a Diablo 2, but it does the job. Titanfall 2, I was told to play, because apparently the campaign is quite good. Short, but good. And it was like, oh, I don't know, $3 or whatever. Now we have the entire fucking collection of Tom Clancy games. End War is bloody underrated. It's underrated. Underrated, for God's sake. It is underrated, and I'll keep saying that. I played that a lot as a kid. Xbox 360. I loved it because I was like, well, this is just like, I sort of like playing a like Red Alert or Generals, but playing it in a more realistic setting, in with better graphics, because this came out in what, 2008 or 9 or something. Ghost Recon 1, Desert Siege, On Thunder, Future Soldier, Advanced Warfighter 2, Wildlands. Never played any of them except Wildlands, and I love that. So I'll probably enjoy all the other ones too. Just gotta be honest, I probably will. Rainbow Six 3, Lockdown, and Siege and Vegas 1 and 2. I played the original Rainbow Six Siege, or the original Rainbow Six on PC when I was a kid. I really liked that. Haven't played 3 or Lockdown. Have played Siege many hours, and I like that a lot. Very fun multiplayer shooter. Vegas and Vegas 2, my wife really liked. I haven't gotten around to playing them yet. Splinter Cell is an interesting one. So we have Splinter Cell 1, Splinter Cell, Chaos Theory, Double Agent, Pandora Tomorrow, Conviction, Blacklist. Never played the original. Never played Pandora Tomorrow or Chaos Theory. You're like, okay, well, which ones have you played? Well, I've played Conviction and I've played Double Agent, which some people would be like, well, those are literally the 2 worst of the entire series. I didn't think Double Agent was bad, and I also didn't think Conviction was bad, but I do realize that they are not what the original series was like. I think the first 3 games are kind of the benchmark, and then Blacklist tried to kind of recapture that, but it kind of didn't. I'll probably enjoy all of them if I play them again, to be honest with you. So yeah. The Division, and just side note, Splinter Conviction would have been the last game I ever played had I died in 2013 in Greece when I was in a hospital. Because that was the last game I was playing before I had to go to I had to go to the hospital, which is pretty wild to think about. It was Driver San Francisco, I think it was Skyrim, Driver San Francisco, and Splinter Conviction were the last 3 games I would have played, which is pretty wild to think about. Tom Clancy, The Division, and The Division 2. I really like The Division. And I never finished it, though. I played it for like 30 hours, but never finished it. My wife did finish it, and she loved it. The Division 2, I'm pretty keen to play. It seems fun. Just like Breakpoint. I think I can look past a lot of the flaws and just kind of enjoy the world as it is. The Tomb Raider remake, I did finish, but it wasn't what it was, but it wasn't fantastic. It was what it was, but it wasn't fantastic. Then we have Tomb Raider 1, 2, 3, Lost 4, 5, 6, 7, or Anniversary, Legend, Underworld. I've never played any of them, and I only got it because, I had the 3 new ones, and I saw that this was like, the whole collection was like $15 or whatever, and I was like, yeah, just pick them up. Why not? I'll get around to them someday, hopefully. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, 4, American Wasteland, Underground, and 2. You're like, why is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 not there? Well, I I like it, but I think 3 was my first one, and because I have such nostalgia for 3, I that's not true even. Like I played 2 as a kid as well, but I didn't own 2. I played at a friend's house, and I played 3. So I always thought just 3. I would just play 3 instead. I liked 3 more, and then 4 I liked as well, and then Underground 1 and 2 and American Wasteland I've never played, but I heard good things. So oh goodness. Okay, we're almost through the teas. We're getting there. We're getting there. Oh my god, how long have we gone for now? 2 hours and 45 minutes. Holy shit. Total War Attila, never played. Looks cool. Total War Empire, have played. Was too easy. Total War, fun, but too easy. Total War Medieval 2, haven't played, but looks like they're going to be the best one. Total War Napoleon, have played, really liked it. Total War Rome 2, haven't played it yet. And Total War Shogun 2, haven't played it yet. Trackmania Turbo. I talked about this in the last video. I liked it. Sue me. Trackmania United Forever and the other Trackmanias I will probably really enjoy too, because I liked Turbo and I liked the Trackmania, what was it? It was like Trackmania Nations, I think it was free. I played that as a kid, that was fun. Trials Gold, Trials Evolution Gold is fantastic. The best Trials game in my opinion. Give it a go if you can. I don't think they sell it anymore. But definitely play it if you can. Trine and Enchanted Edition, Trine 2. Trine is kind of like, I've played the first one a little bit, and I was like, oh, I don't know about this, and then I didn't play the second one or anything like that. The 5th one looks pretty though. That's coming out at the end of this year, I think. Tropico 4 and 5. I've never played any of the Tropico games. I played 4 a little bit, and then I didn't very much anymore. And I was like, oh, I should probably not play this right now. And then I never got back to it. It was fine. My wife really likes the Tropico games, but I've never really put any time or effort into it. I probably should. Then we have True Crime, New York City, and Streets of LA, which are fantastic. And I gotta tell you, New York City is considered the worst one compared to Streets of LA. I like it more. But I like New York City and Streets of LA both. They are fucking awesome games. They are underrated both, and I think New York City, a lot of people hate on it, but I think it doesn't deserve as much hate as it gets. Both of them are fun, and they're way too like hated on. I think they're both really cool, and I think the worlds of both of the games, like, yeah, some people might be like, oh, they're too empty or whatever, but I think they have a good amount of content, and I think they're fun, especially for the time period they came out. They're a lot better than a lot of open world games, I gotta be honest. The TT Isle of Man Ride on the Edge. I literally just got it because I was watching the TT Isle of Man, and then I was like, we should probably see if the game is any good. So yeah, Two Worlds 2 and Two Worlds, Two Worlds and Two Worlds 2. I just got because I really recently watched the rewatched the Pro Jared videos from like 10, 12 years ago. I was like, oh my god, I should get these and see and play them and see for myself. I know, but the worst excuse to buy something. The Typing of the Dead Overkill. My wife bought it for me. She was like, "You'll enjoy this. You can type really fast." And I was like, "Oh, okay." She really liked it, so I thought, yeah, let's give it a go. Oh god, sorry. God, I hope no one saw that. That was disgusting. I didn't mean to do that. Oh God. But yeah, like I said, I've been a bit under the weather recently, and I didn't mean that. I didn't mean to do that. I really hope no one saw that. Oh God. Really hope no one saw that. Mm. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. And I can't really. This video is so long, I can't edit it out. Let's just hope no one saw it. Oh god, let me see what timestamp that was. 2:48. Okay. All right. Let's hope it's not too bad. All right. Okay. And we're back. All right. Tyranny. God, I'm so embarrassed. Tyranny. Obsidian Entertainment. CRPG. Tried to play it. Honestly, tried to play it twice. Went a little bit into the game, and I was a bit bored with it. I got to be honest. It wasn't what I was expecting. It's like, oh, you're gonna play as the bad guy or whatever. But it wasn't as in depth and interesting as I thought it was gonna be. It was cool, but Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Always heard good things about Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2. So I thought 3 is on Steam. Let me cop it, see what it's like. Ultra Street Fighter 4. And again, like I said, never played Street Fighter. Neither have I played Under Night In-Birth. I got that for free. Never played it. Valheim, I think, is super overrated. I don't know why people enjoy it so much. It's like real overrated, in my opinion. I tried to play it for a while with my wife, and I got it for her too, because it got such good reviews, and we both played it, and we're like, this kind of sucks. And that's not really me being mean or anything. It's just it kind of was disappointing. That's all I'm saying. Unreal Tournament, I have never played. So I was glad to pick them up before they were removed, for God's sake, but never played them. Valkyria Chronicles, very fun, good game, bit difficult. Well, not difficult, but it's a little bit difficult, but it's a good game. It's fun. Vampire Survivors, it's better to just play on a Steam Deck, not on a PC. I don't know why you would do that. So many other games you could be playing instead. It's a good game from being on the move though, on your phone or on a Steam Deck. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines is fantastic, and it's sad that the second one has been such development hell, and hopefully it will turn out good, because fuck, I remember it was going to come out in 2020, bro. It's going to come out in 2020 or 2021, and it got delayed so many times, and now it's just completely undefined release date. Crazy. If it ever comes out, I mean, I'm sure it will, because there's so much of it was done. Vanquish, still got to play that, from the same people who made Bayonetta Platinum. Probably is going to be real good. Probably going to be real good. A lot of good things. Victoria 2 is the one Paradox strategy game which I haven't gotten into, because it's pretty complicated, and it's like or at least to me it's complicated. It's probably not complicated at all. But from what I've seen, it isn't as simple as a lot of the other ones. Fuck. The Void is by the same people who made Pathologic, the Icepick Lodge, and it's a bit of a bizarre game from what I hear, but it should be pretty good. The Walking Dead, the Telltale Definitive Series. So that's the entire Walking Dead saga, the entire Walking Dead Telltale series in one, which is pretty cool. So yeah. I did like the first season, and then I didn't play any of the other seasons. I do own the first season and the second season standalone, and I played the first one. I did like it, but I didn't think it was like the best thing ever, which a lot of people thought, oh, this is the greatest story whatever ever been told. But I don't know, it was fine. I don't know anything about Warhammer, and I own all of these games, and I really should get into Warhammer at some point, but I just haven't. And but it looks really cool, and these games all have like overwhelmingly positive reviews, so I'm sure I'd enjoy them in some sense. Watch Dogs 1 I bought as a kid, as a teen on release day. I was quite disappointed, as many people were. The second one looked quite interesting, looks a lot better. I heard a lot of good things about it, and the third one is pretty naff from what I hear. But I will still play and enjoy them. See what, or enjoy them is questionable, but I'll play them and see what it's like for myself. We Happy Few is kind of interesting. It's not fantastic, but it has interesting concepts, and it certainly is a bit more. It tries things. That's you can always say nice things about games for that. There's not a lot of, all the big companies are way too safe. Wish is another game like Mirror and HuniePop, and it's a match 3 game, and it's fun. That's all I'm gonna say. The Witcher 1 I've played as a kid. I didn't like it because it was The Witcher 1 and it was very like clunky and whatnot. Witcher 2 I've never played, and Witcher 3 is fantastic. I've played more than 100 hours on PS4. I've played a bunch on PC. It's good, very, very good game, very fun. I've not finished it at any point though because it's so big and it's just massive. It's fantastic though. Wizardry 6, 7, and 8, they look like fantastic, interesting games, but I haven't had the time to play them yet. The Wolf Among Us, to this day, probably is my favorite Telltale game, next to Tales of Borderlands, which I don't actually own. Well, I own it on PS4, but not on PC. Wolfenstein, this is a 2009 Raven Software one, is fantastic. The new Colossus I haven't played. The New Order is amazing, and the Old Blood is a bit, it's okay. Young Blood obviously is meant to be bad as terrible, but I bought it for me and my wife just for like $1 so that we could have a bit of fun. World in Conflict is an incredible RTS. Fantastic RTS, in fact. I had a big box set of it when I was younger, and I played on PC all the time, and it was just really, really fun. That and End War, oh my god, I've spent so many hours on those. Very fun games. World Racing 2 is a bit of a bizarre title, but I don't know much about it. Got it recently for cheap. Worms Blast is considered one of the worst Worms games, if not the worst, but I like it because I played it as a kid, so I have like nostalgia for it. WRC 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I just got those for very, very cheap off of G2A a couple of months ago just to test them out. I haven't played them yet, obviously, because I don't have time for anything. Wreckfest was made by the people who made Flatout, Bugbear, and it's just that's what it is. It's a demolition driving game, derbies and races and stuff like that. Then we have all of the WWE games, 2015 and 16 there, which I played on here. I have many hours in those because I played them with my friends because I was still in high school back then. Then 19, which is my favorite of all of the 2K released games. Day of Reckoning and Day of Reckoning 2, which were awesome on GameCube. I had those on GameCube, fantastic games. And then I had all of the WWE SmackDown vs. Raw games and the WWE SmackDown games. I owned all of them and I played all of them and I loved all of them. And they were definitely the game I played, apart from FIFA, with my friends the most. And did career modes, the story modes, the different, my GM mode, all that stuff we did with friends. And my god, it was fun. It was so fun. Yeah. 100%. Those games are great games, all of them, the old ones, and now they feel so soulless. I don't know. These games had character, they had soul, they introduced me to so much good music, and yeah. X3, obviously X4 is a massive game and it has many. It's a bit of a cult game, but X3 I hear good things about, but it's so in depth, and again, with the amount of games I have, it's just something you have to really dive into and really stick with. But I haven't had the time or the inclination to do that. Looks cool though. XCOM I didn't like. That sort of turn-based sort of stuff is not really my thing. I've noticed. XCOM 2 was on sale for like 19.5% or something, so it was like a few bucks, if not like $2-3. With all the DLC and everything, and so I got it then, and I was like, oh, cool, but yeah, again, not played it yet, because I didn't enjoy the first one, even though a lot of people really loved it. Xenos Boiling Point and Xenos 2 White Gold are bizarre games. If you don't know anything about them, I'll probably do a video on them at some point. They are, I don't even know what to tell you about them, they're bizarre, but they're definitely worth to check out. 13, that is the original, not the shit remake from 2020. Is like a comic book style first person shooter with a pretty wild story, very cool graphics, very stylized. Then we are almost at the end, my friends. Then we have the Yakuza series, Yakuza 0. It's so annoying that you can't move them around because it's so out of order. Yakuza 0, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 8, or sorry, 7. Bloody hell. And obviously you have like a Dragon Ishin, you have the new ones coming out, you have The Man Who Erased His Name, which is coming out. You have yeah, all that. And it's like my wife, she's played all of them. I haven't played. I've played 0, 1, and 2, and I think 0, 1, and 2 are all fantastic. I haven't gotten around to playing the rest. Like a Dragon, though, she played, and it was the first one she played, and she just didn't like it because it was turn-based. So I said, like, you'll probably really enjoy like Ishin and stuff, but she doesn't like the turn-based. Like, she finished the game, but she was like, oh, this is not like my Yakuza, the Yakuza I love. She loves Yakuza. It's definitely her favorite series. I introduced it to her because I had only played 0, and I showed her, and then she fucking went and played every single one of the games, and then she had finished 6, I think, by the time I got to the second one. So yeah. Anyway, we're at the bottom row now. We have Yu-Gi-Oh! Capsule Monster Colosseum, which is a fun, very, very fun PS2 game. Forbidden Memories, which is a very fun PS1 game, and one of some people's favorite. But my favorite has to be Duelist of the Roses. I think Duelist of the Roses would be, again, in my top 15 of all time. And I have such heavy nostalgia for it. It is my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. In my opinion, it's the best one. Check out Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist of the Roses if you can. It is just a bonkers story. It combines my love for Yu-Gi-Oh! With history, where like Yugi is the king of England and Kaiba is the king of France, and they are at war for the control of like it's like it's the War of the Roses, but it's like it's just super cool. It's bizarre, and all of the characters in Yu-Gi-Oh! The Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters are all characters in history, which is so wild. But anyway, and you have to like you get sent back from the future, and you sent back there to change history, and you have to pick a side, and it's just wild. It's fantastic. Anyway, let me stop ranting now. Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution is very fun. You can play through every single duel in almost every single duel in all the entire series. It's a very good. It has over 10,000 cards. It's great. Tag Force 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I already talked about this in the last video. Very, very fun Yu-Gi-Oh! Games. I only ever played 1 because it's the only one I ever owned. And 6 also came out, but it never came out outside of Japan. I like that with every single one you see Jaden, his hair gets it's a little bit spiky, a little bit more spiky, and then very spiky. Then we have Zombie Army and Zombie Army 4, the trilogy and 4. Haven't played them, look fun though. 0 Hour, I already talked about. Zombie, which is like a weird Wii U launch title, which actually was like pretty good, bizarrely good, and bizarrely scary for what it was. Interested to play that again, but Zero Escape. Now this is a fantastic series. The Nonary Games. The Nonary Games is 999, 9 persons, 9 doors, 9 hours, if I'm not mistaken, and Virtue's Last Reward, which is that's the same game, or the 2 different games, but they're in one. And then Zero Time Dilemma, which is the 3rd game. All 3 awesome. There's some people who say, oh, Zero Time Dilemma is a terrible game, blah, blah, blah. But they're all good. They're all fun. Check all of them out. They deserve your time. They are better than Danganronpa, in my opinion. They are the best. If you're talking about visual novels, but they're interactive with puzzles and whatnot, and different branching paths and whatever, timelines and all everything crazy, play them. They're fun. Check them out. Anyway, so it's been over 3 hours. I can breathe, finally. Thank you guys so much for watching. We went through every single game. Oh my god. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.